Yeah, I've got, yep, sounds good. Welcome to Windy Hill VFL action coming to you from, well, Windy Hill. Got off to a fly there. Richmond v Essendon, we're going well. We should be in for a cracking contest here. As we say, it's in the suburbs in Essendon. Much like the Punt Road venue, really. It's a nice little venue. You know, you got the old grandstands here and what have you. We're sitting in the old grandstand as well. It's a good place to be, and hopefully get a good game as well.
Second v fourth, Jim, and yes, it's blustery conditions here.
It is a little bit.
Windy Hill. Obviously, it's just going to be slightly breezy here. We've got a beautiful outlook over northwestern inner suburbs of Melbourne.
We do. We can see the skyline from here as well. We're in a sensational position.
Second v fourth too, Jim. And it's a chance for the Tigers to reclaim their top spot on the ladder. But Essendon's a side at VFL level that's really making a charge, much like their AFL side. So I reckon we're in for a cracking contest today. It
is, and when you look at Essendon too, it's the names they've got out there today as well. You only got to look at the top of their team sheet, and you got to go name Darcy Parish running around out there. Now he's been around the AFL system for a few years now, played a lot of senior footy, especially through the suspensions and that sort of thing. He got a lot of game time. So you got someone like him out there, Josh Green, who's played plenty of footy as well. Stewart in there as well. So, and then Francis, who hasn't played a lot of at AFL level, but he's shown signs. You know, he should be a player that should explode at some point. So you'd expect him to take a hold of a VFL game sooner rather than later. And then the Tigers, as you say, second on the ladder. We've seen them a few times now. May as well pause every time the siren goes. It's going to deafen us by the end of the day.
Yeah, there's a lot of class out there for the Tigers. In saying that, with 7 changes coming into the side this week, the names like Soldo, Miles, Corey Ellis goes out, Townsend and Arts on suspension, and Steve Morris with injury. It's a real depth tester for the Tigers today, and it's a real test that they will welcome at a hostile venue.
So especially Soldo out for the Tigers, so who do we look to as the number one ruckman in the side?
Well, the last time that happened was against Williamstown, and Callum Coleman-Jones played the quarter of his life in the first quarter. He had a really impressive game as pretty much a sole ruckman, teaming up with Noah Bolter as well. So you'd assume those two will tandem.
Those two do it again.
Yeah, throughout the day. But it's going to be a big test for them. Blustery conditions. It's going to be tricky early to try and get the feel for the ground, get the feel for the venue. But this is happy hunting ground for the Tigers with a very impressive win in last year's home and away season.
Perfect. And when you say this venue too, it is a bit unique. As we've said, it is blustery. As the siren goes again, but it's a very small ground too. Yeah, it's going to be congested out there, I would have thought today.
Yeah, that's going to surely suit the Tigers down to the ground. They like it in tight. They like to create the ground skinny, defend from behind the ball, and get repeat entries inside 50. So you'd assume that the former ladder leading Tigers would suit this ground down to a T.
Yep. Okay, so we're looking to the centre of the ground down. I reckon that is Bolter that's starting in there for the Tigers. So you mentioned that a moment ago. He'd be one to obviously have a bit of a say in there. Lloyd in there as well with Callum. Sorry, with
Camden McIntosh in there.
That's the one.
Sorry. Stengel.
Yep. So some good matches there. And then obviously Parish, mentioned a moment ago, he's starting in there along with Clark as well for them as well. So, some good names getting around the middle. And then obviously there's going to be some big matchups around the ground. So we wait again. We just sort of block the ears as the siren's about to go.
Both teams starting with a loose behind the ball here. Got Tommy Silvestro for the Tigers, and then Zach Merritt, I believe, is starting behind the ball for the Dons.
So the Rucks go at it. Neither could get a hand on it. Parish was there. He got tackled by Stengel. Essendon trying to get the clearing kick out of there. There was a hack at it that was missed. Just keeps bouncing around from there. Lloyd threw a boot. It comes out the back. Silvestro was there. He can give the hands off. Now the kick inside forward 50 for the Tigers there. Colin Jones was underneath it, but he couldn't get a mark there, and the intercept was taken there by Hartley.
Very seasoned defender Michael Hartley, former at Coburg and now at Essendon through a suspension period. But he's a classy defender, and the Tigers are just going to have to try and bypass him, much like David Mirror they did last week in early part of that game.
Yeah, he's spot on there. So ended up with Ridley, who went up the line. Garthwaite was sitting underneath it. He got hands on it. Then the clearing kick from Essendon was just up and under and went straight over the boundary line. Only went about 5 metres.
And for the viewers at home, the Tigers are kicking with the wind in the first quarter. I believe that's the Mount Alexandra Road end.
Yep.
So it's going to be from the game previous, the VFLW game. It's hard to kick to the right of screen, but so the Tigers are going to have to try and capitalise here.
So Credlin with it, just sends it inside forward 50, and Mark's been taken at the back there. It was a uncontested mark too, but nonetheless the mark from Ballard. He's got it right on the paint of 50. Now, as you mentioned, kicking with a bit of a breeze, so Should almost be a chance. Generally quite a reliable kick too. He's going to go on the right, and he's just going to just chip it up. It's carried a long way, though, towards the line. It comes off hands. Eventually works its way over the boundary line. So we'll have a throw in deep inside forward 50 for the Tigers.
It was just a 9-iron from Jacob Ballard, and it nearly carried the 50.
It almost looked like he wanted to go to the hot spot.
Yeah,
he wanted to put it at the top of the square, but the wind just carried it, and ended up just a bit too long. So throw back into play. Common Joe just got the palm on it, got over the top, and that was taken by Heppel. Obviously not Dyson. And he was wrapped up very quickly, and the umpire's just circling here, and eventually we'll have a stoppage 25 out directly in front of the Tiger goal.
That'll be Aaron Heppel.
Aaron Heppel, yeah.
I believe just as I look at the team sheet here, is he the captain for the... He's the vice captain for the Dons. Nice. Playing very good footy at VFL level.
So another Heppel with leadership credentials. Stengel tried to get a hack kick out of there, didn't go anywhere. Once again, the numbers pushed up to the footy. And you sense this may happen in this game, especially with the wind. Both teams are going to acknowledge that the ball's going to spend a lot of time at that end of the ground. So Essendon's going to push the numbers up and try and limit the scoring Richmond can do with it, and then try and open it up themselves in the second term as they try to clear out of the area now. It's going to go down the line. Mark should be taken, and it is there. That's by Houlihan.
Now you'd assume that the most of the play will be on this grandstand side of the ground, but the opposite side is the attacking side, but it's going to be tough to get the ball across there. So
Mark up the line. He seemed to give it a fair leg, and it went nowhere. Bolter went up and then came down, and then laid a really strong tackle there on Heppel.
Yeah, very impressive. In his
gave away
debut,
a free kick too.
Oh, dangerous tackle possibly, Jim?
I feel like that's what it may have been. He did. He sort of picked him up and dumped him. Had both arms pinned, so the umpire's very quick to go for that one.
Here, but you'd assume...
Straight into the man on the mark there. Bolter read it well, got hands on it. And that was Francis came up to it, but the Tigers got the numbers now. Stengel, he's got Bolton on his left, and he gives it to him now. He's going to go long, but with a mongrel kick, it's going to go out in the full. That was poor from Shea Bolton. Yeah,
that was a missed opportunity. Yeah, also had Baker in the corridor. He probably should have given the hands off. Because it's going to be tough when you're boundary side here and trying to kick it into the corridor. It's going to be very tough. You'd assume you want to run it through hands.
Another clearing kick from Essendon. It just sort of went out towards the boundary line. Menadue picked it up and then sent it further back. Now they're just trying to work in board. Lloyd's got it now. He's going to slip as Parrish put the pressure on him. Parrish goes after it again. I reckon that was Houlihan getting involved to get one out wide. He was looking for Merritt. Went over his head. Garthwaite went back and got it. Now the Tigers are going to try and reload down the line. It's just going to be a rush kick, a grubbering kick out of there, and it's going to bounce over the line 50 around from the Essendon goal.
Yeah, just intermittent showers here, Jim. I'm glad we're under cover.
I'm wrapped, yeah. Better say I didn't even notice it.
Plenty of numbers around this stoppage.
So thrown back into play. Parrish does the roving. Gave the hands off in board. The hurried kick there away was from Sheehan. It was an up and under. Only went about 25. Got it inside forward 50. But with Baker now for the Tigers, he shifts it to Menadue. He's going to send it in the middle to Stengel. He's got Ballard over the top. Chooses not to go there. Gave the hands off as the umpire goes down the middle of the ground. That was Ernest with it. Sends it inside forward 50. Couldn't hit up a target. The handball gets away from there. That was Coates involved. He's going to go back for it again. Dives over the footy. Can't gather it. Getting involved for Essendon there was Berry. And it works its way over to the line. We'll have a throw in.
Tigers looking the better early, Jim. They're trying to attack through the corridor in that passage of play through Tigers and Stengel. Just had Ballard over the top, but just missed him. But it's that final kick inside 50 is going to be the tough one for today.
Certainly is. Conditions are challenging early. Thrown in the play. Bolter did well to work his way to the front, but Parrish was there, got the hands out the back. Now the clearing kick for Essendon's just up the line. Garthwaite sits himself in a good position there. The mark almost taken by Stewart. Came off hands. Strong tackle laid there on Caulfield.
Well, it's a bit stiff, but...
done behind the ball, and yeah, as you say, a bit stiff. He didn't have much of a chance.
I wouldn't have thought. I would have thought he got a fist to it as well, but I tell you what, Garthwaite v James Stewart's going to be an interesting duel today.
It is, and it's been a good one already. There's a kick in board. That was a good one to hit up Berry.
Now, this is where the Tigers are generally pretty good. They'll force him long down the line.
Does exactly that, and long into the wind is only about 40 metres as it's intercepted. That's with Bolter, and he just slips. The umpire calls him to play on as he dropped the pill as well. Sends it in board. Ballard had to be good, got a hand on it, so that was Coates. Gets out the back there. Essendon got the numbers there. They'll try and reload through the middle. A short kick only went about 5 metres. That was cut off there by Sheehan. He tried to give the hands now. Gets out the back, and they got numbers. Lloyd runs to 50. He's got it one on, and he's just butchered the kick inside forward 50 turnover. He had Ballard all on his own.
Now I'm going to give Sam Lloyd a bit of leniency. I reckon that ball was with a +3 wind just blew slightly when he was guiding it down, and I reckon he just shanked that a little bit.
You reckon he was on the money, except the wind just picked up and carried it away from the centre of his foot.
That's exactly right.
Okay. So Essendon, they're going to use what you said a moment ago was the attacking side.
Now this is where they probably should have gone fast here, because the Tigers are going to try and get numbers behind the footy.
Which they've done so successfully so far. We're sitting up in a bit of a high vantage point here, and we can see the structures, and they have set up well. Essendon just going to have to chip it around, though. So it's Francis with it. Gives their hands off. They're going to look to use the corridor. Now they're going to go back with a short kick from Minot.
Yeah, minute. I reckon we'll go minute.
I thought it was a fair attempt. So once again, working out to that attacking side. But they're just going too slow, as you mentioned. The kick had to be good, and it was. It worked up to Draper.
The Dons really like to attack through the corridor, much like their AFL side, and also the Tigers defend like their AFL side. So we're in for an intriguing duel here.
So the kick went to the half-forward flank for Essendon. Silvestro's going to end up with it. Gets it out to McIntosh. He's got a runner out wide. Gave it off. Now the Tigers looking to bring it back in board, and they do so. It was a really good kick hit up. Menadu's then going to bring it in further afield. Handball over the top, ends up with Lloyd. He's got another man on wider in Credlin. He's at 50, goes short. Baker's on the lead and gets it.
That's much better by Brendan Credlin there. The Tigers spread the ground through hands there and just had numbers streaming forward. They've done that much better than Essendon today. The ability to run and carry and control the ball through hands. And now we've got Liam Baker with a shot on goal. Now, outside of the right post here, Jim, he should be aiming.
Outside the right post. Yep. I'm sort of thinking middle of the right hand behind sort of area.
The wind will get it really late.
So we don't want to go early on it when it leaves his boot. He wouldn't want to go early on a celebration either. Hangs it out there, not far enough. Hooked violently to the left. Minor score.
Now, he hooked that a bit, Jim. I reckon if he just kicked straight towards, as you said, in the middle.
It was a little bit of a helicopter sort of punt.
Yeah.
No, I think you're on the money. Kick goes long, strong grab taken. And it's Draper sitting underneath it. Up against Coleman Jones.
Garthwaite down the line. He's not going to want to go long, but I think the Tigers will force him there.
I almost thought Garthwaite was too deep, but he just proves me wrong and was sitting in the perfect position as he got a fist on it. The numbers get to the footy, though. Garthwaite was there, came out the back, Menadu's got it, they hit over it. Yeah. He'll win a free kick for 2-high.
Good work on the manager there. The Tigers, I tell you what, they just set up so well behind the ball, even behind that scrimmage there. They just fold numbers back and they set up brilliantly well. And they're going to want to try and bring out the attacking side, but Essendon will block him into this grandstand side. Well, that's not the kick, but it might work out.
A poor kick that worked. And they'll take that through Batty. Just goes deep inside forward 50, but once again a poor entry, and it's intercepted there by Ridley. He's got a lead out wide in Stewart. He's been calling for it for a long time, and he'll go there eventually, and he'll just spear it. And Stewart eventually got his ball. I reckon he's about 30 metres from where he actually wanted it. So he's going to look up the line now. He's just going to go short in board. Parrish has got it. It's gone all of about 8 metres, and it's been paid. Plays on quickly, goes down the line. Manager again underneath it and takes a nice mark.
This man's been in impressive form all year.
He's had plenty of it early.
Yeah. Had AFL selection, and he's going to try and break into that side once again. Oh, that's a good mark.
Kick goes deep. Mark taken by Coates. He's just going to run into an open goal and just chip it into the net nicely. The Tigers got the first of the day, 1-1-7. Essendon yet to score. We've travelled almost 10 minutes in this first term.
Good kick by Connor Manager there. Really attacked the corridor. Just well read by Billy Coates. It's going to be the day where a forward's going to have to play in front. It could drop short or it could go deep, but Billy Coates just read it extremely well and just strolled into a nice, easy goal.
Love how quick he was to take the opportunity to run into that open goal as well. He could have easily just sat back, taken the set shot from 40, but on a day like this, there's no point doing that because you're likely to butcher it.
Absolutely, Jim, and he's generally a fullback, so they're generally not the most reliable kicks at goal, so he just took the easy option, which I like.
Yep. Even if you didn't have the easy option, you'd suggest passing it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So back in the middle. It's been quite an even start so far, but the Tigers look like they may just have a little bit too much with the breeze in this first term. Coleman Jones doing the ruck duties. Couldn't get a hand on it. Draper did so. From there, Minute was there. Butchered it again. I'm going to have about 5 different ways of saying it by the end of the day. Berry's been tackled in a strong tackle. He didn't get rid of that cleanly. That was holding the ball and it'll come back. No advantage. Silvestro with the free kick.
This is a man that is going to enjoy the conditions today. He's going to run all day. He's a heart and soul player of the Tigers. Much loved by his teammates and also much loved by the coaching staff. This does all the things right.
Bit of a wobbly kick. Put Baker under a lot of pressure. Eventually there'll be a right foot banana out of there. And that's a really good finish. Super stuff there from Sean Manor.
He's a class player. North Albury boy. Inside, outside player. Just, as I said, class. Knows where the goals are. And players like he, Shane Bolton, Tyson Stengel, they're going to be pretty lively today, I'd assume.
You would have thought so. What I like there, it was a really composed finish too. He could have blazed away early, but he managed just to pull it back and then step around a couple of Essendon players just to open up the angle a little bit more for himself, and then a really good finish. And they're the sort of goals that will be popular today, the Bananas.
Yeah, absolutely. And from that pocket, the wind just brought it back nicely.
So back in the centre now, Richmond 2-1-13 lead this one. Essendon yet to score. 12 minutes gone, first term. Rucks go at it. Came straight down. Bolter was involved, but Essendon were able to get the clearance. Sitting underneath it and taking the uncontested mark on the halfback flank there.
Patrick Naish had a very nice game last week versus Box Hill.
So Naish just goes down the line, goes long. The mark easily taken there defensively for Essendon. Just snuck out the back of that contest. No one manning the mark, so they're just able to gain a few extra yards of the Bombers. Goes to the half-forward flank, but Bolter is just getting back there and putting himself in a dangerous position. Be interesting to see if the Tigers go straight back down the line here, or they try and switch it themselves and open up the space, and they don't. This is just going to be a 60-metre drop punt bomb, basically.
Good contest there by Billy Case, brought to ground.
So that was Lloyd there at the bottom of it. He's looking for Ballard inside forward 50. He couldn't get to the front of the contest. Stengel put a tackle on, but the clearing kick came out of there. Now Essendon going to try and use the corridor, and they're going to do it with speed. They're going to bring it out to a commentary position, but a strong chase and tackle was there. Now bursting away, there's Hind. Gets to the centre of the ground, chips it over the top. Essendon, they want to go quickly, and that'll be gone.
Shawnee Manor.
Really good stuff by Manor.
He's a very good young player.
I wasn't sure the umpire had called play on yet.
Yeah, well,
at first
those touch and go ones, wasn't it?
So I wasn't sure he'd actually stepped off his mark or anything along those lines. And that's a dangerous kick. Stewart almost got a hand on it.
Naish can go here.
Yep, so Naish, he's got a little bit of room to move, so he takes a bounce and then works his way up to the wing and sends it long. Essendon got the numbers to bring it back through the middle, but it's a really poor kick. Brings Silvestro into the game. Gives it off to Stengel. He'll sidestep one. He has to try and take on another. Now there'll be a flying shot on goal. That's come from Brandon Wood. It's curling, but it's a minor score.
And over the net, the kids just race for the footy.
They love it,
This
don't
is
they?
suburban footy at its best, Jim. There's dogs, there's donuts.
There's everything. Yeah, there will be. There'll be the hot jam donut somewhere.
I might have seen one Neil Barn just strolling around with a bag of
wow.
hot jam donuts.
The first or second bag?
I'm going to say he's first.
So the kick long out of there for Essendon. Manager was sitting underneath it. Almost brought it down to his chest. Couldn't do so successfully. Then the numbers get around there. And you'd expect we'll have a ball up here a couple of metres inside the line.
Now, see here, Jim. Bombers know that Ryan Garthwaite is going to hang off the contest and hang back. So why not man him up?
Just exactly. Because now every time they get the ball, they're under the pressure because they look up and he's on his own.
Yep, absolutely.
At least attempt to make a contest of it. And look at him. Garthwaite's going to get up and get involved here. No, he didn't. Mark. He chose to hang back there. And a really nice mark was taken by Houlihan. Now he goes. He didn't push far off the mark, and then he just sends it centre forward. Garthwaite was good, but he probably went early. Huntley was able to get it and play on the left. He's going to go deep. Stewart's there. Can't quite hold it. They need another number. Stewart gets it back. He's run into trouble. The fend off. Now gives the hands off to Clark. He gives it back to Parrish, and then he's going to centre it dangerously. Well read there by Brandon Wood.
He's going to go up the corridor.
And if he had hit a target, they were out. But Hartley's going to get back, and he should be able to go to the ball. Shepherd was laid for him. He's going to give the hands off. Now they're going to bring it back through the corridor.
Aaron Francis here. He can kick a ball. I don't know why.
He can, but he just went that handball, and it was probably one too many in the end. They're lucky that they got the numbers to work it out. There was a whistle and
no, he's called an Essendon free here.
I think there was a free kick, and the advantage was called, but I don't know if too many noticed that Lazaro had it handballed to him, and he just put his hands up in the air and let it hit him just about. So back with it now. Short kick went to Francis.
So James Stewart here. Oh, I probably would have gone.
It's going to go deep, and that's a super, super kick. The kick drew the man.
Absolutely. He kicked it to space.
Yeah.
And Jackson Merritt, sorry, not Zach Merritt, was there. And good strong juke, because that ball was absolutely travelling.
You're spot on there, and you're right. There was no movement.
No. From
the Essendon forwards.
No.
He simply did that. He just kicked it to the space. Kicked a bullet too, which made it very difficult for the Tigers defenders to get involved.
Yeah, it's going to be generally a tough kick. You have to go left-hand goalpost here.
So Merritt kick on its way. I reckon he's read that nicely.
Yep.
And he slotted it. Essendon have got their first of the day. 1 straight 6. They trail Richmond 2-2-14. 16.5 going in the first term.
Just smart forward craft there by Aaron Francis and good understanding with Jackson Merritt. He speared it in underneath, kind of under the breeze. He got a bit of protection from
the grandstand
here.
From the grandstand,
yeah. But yeah, much needed from the Bombers there.
That may be the case to score goals at that end of the ground today. Keep it on our commentary position side.
Absolutely.
And get in that sort of protection of the grandstands. Yep. I mean, at the same time, though, I'm not sure what the protection's like because we're copping a bit of it in the stands. So works back to the centre. Alter once again doing the ruck work. He'll be up against Draper. Draper was able to get the palm down. Lloyd was in over top of it. We'll have a secondary ball up. There's a little bit of push and shove in there. Nothing quite to the extent of last week when there was a couple of suspensions.
No, that was a spiteful game, you'd say, Jim.
Yeah, just a little bit. Yeah. Townsend was probably lucky that he didn't get about 6 weeks the way he was going. I thought he was going to drop someone. Parrish, head over the footy. He was looking for the high contact and he got it, but he ducked. Now Green ended up with it. He's going to head out wide. Hullam was there, but it was too wide for him. We'll have a throw in.
Yes, Jacob Townsend missing. I think he's missing 2 weeks, or maybe just 1. Jake Hart's definitely 2 weeks through rough conduct. But yeah, Andrew Moore was the main antagonist. Went pretty hard on Anthony Miles for the majority of the day.
And got the result really in that regard.
Yeah.
Didn't get the win though. So Essendon, once again, they bring it into the corridor. It's going to have to be a short kick and a good one. There was a player dumped after
down the field, I think.
Yeah, downfield, and it looks like Hocking will be the recipient of that.
Now, this will be a tough kick. He's going to have to try and spot up someone here.
Yes, now you'd expect he's too far out in these conditions to have a shot, but he's backed himself in, and how's the leg? He's given it a roost, and across the face for a minor score.
You're going to make us look like fools, Jim.
He almost, in saying that, when it first left his boot, I thought it was going through post eye. That's how well he connected. And then it's only just crept over the line.
Now, Joel Ernest, he's going to want to come grandstand side.
And he does exactly that.
That's a good shoot.
He sat it on the head of Bolzer, who couldn't quite hold on. Going in and getting it was Greer. He was tackled, and now laying the tackle there for the Tigers is Ballard, as we see a little bit of feeling again.
Blake Greer returning from injury for the first week this since about, I reckon, around 3 or 4, I reckon. He was in good form too, but unfortunately hurt his ankle. Back in, tough inside midfielder, and was in good goal kicking form before he got injured as well.
Yeah, he looks like a man who might just like a little bit of this niggle. There's another bloke down there, Baker, I reckon might be in for that sort of stuff too. Stengel did the roving, got out to Bolton. He did the don't argue on his own man there in Baker. He just streamed away from him and then hit it real deep. Out the back was Coates, and it just kept bouncing and bouncing for a minor score.
The Tiger fans want to see much more of that from Shea Bolton today. They saw it last week. It was pretty classy in the second half.
I just want to point out, Bolton's kicked a point from the centre circle.
Yep.
That's the sort of win we're talking about. So Essendon just to build down the outer side. They got the numbers at this contest so they can go quickly. Looks like Parrish may have been involved, sent it further afield. Mark was almost taken there by Clark. Good defensive work by Naish, sees it over the line.
That's the side of his game that he's really developing well, Patrick Naish. They've earmarked him as that running half back, but when you play down back, Jim, you've got to defend first and then attack second, and he's doing that really, really well at this stage.
I feel at the moment Richmond will probably be disappointed with this first term so far.
Yeah, had opportunities forward to centre. They just didn't really capitalise on that. Last kick inside 50 has let them down. But they look pretty class, up in class around the ball, Essendon. But Essendon are scrapping well in the last probably 5 minutes, I'd say.
Yep. So Essendon, they're going to go forward again. Hullam was underneath it. He got nudged to the front of the contest, couldn't get a hand on it. Nash got involved. Garthwaite was there as well, couldn't get a clean handball out. Lloyd had his head over it, and there's a free kick for too high. I believe that is going to Lloyd.
Class player that'll want to try and force his way back into AFL contention in the back half of 2018.
Especially when you feel like the Richmond seniors are just starting to stretch away from everyone.
This is the protected area, Jim.
This is the worst rule in the history of Australian rules.
Who thought it was a good idea? I don't know who thought it was a good idea, but when you see players that are left footers and someone's running to their right,
yep,
and apparently impeding their protected zone, I don't get that.
Surely just call it 50 if they are actually affected. If an incident happens and they're affected by the man in there, fine, 50. But if they're just running by, mind their own business, just let it go. As it goes to the top of the square, off hands, there's no one getting a clean possession in there. The umpire, you'd think he's just going to let it go and go and go. And I reckon that was Baker just grabbed it out of the back of the contest and just slammed one through.
The Essendon players had stopped.
Everyone had stopped.
Everyone had stopped, except Liam Baker.
And he just picked up the footy and just kicked it.
Just played to the whistle, Jim.
Exactly.
And Liam Baker, right man, right time.
Well, they all stopped because the umpire just let it go for an
eternity, it seemed.
An unusual amount of time. But as a result, Baker's just gone, thank you very much. He's got his first snag of the day, and the Tigers are out to 3-3-21, leading this one. Essendon 1-1-7, 22 gone. Now, finally, are they starting to get some of the reward for what has been probably a game that's been played in their territory for the most part?
Yeah, what are they? They're 14 points up. Yeah.
You probably want to be, it's probably 4 goals, I think you want to be up with this sort of breeze.
Yep.
So they'd probably want to steal a couple more late. The umpire just lets that one go. I reckon he should have called it back, but Essendon are going to be able to get the clearance out of there. They're just going to send it deep into the pocket. I wouldn't have thought this one will stay in, and it won't. 30 round from the Essendon goal.
Very athletic player, James Stewart.
Yeah, he's a very mobile player. Yeah. Common Jones could be in for a bit of a day if he's got to handle him in the ruck on occasions. Thrown back in now. Stewart can also be dangerous when he's up forward. Common Jones was able to do the work at ground level, got the hands out, but the kick only went as far out of there as Sheehan. So he looks inside forward 50. He's just going to send it to the hot spot. He needs to fly from the back. Houlihan almost pulled it in against 3 Tigers. And this time the umpire's quick on the whistle to call for it.
Yeah, just watch out for Josh Green around this 450 stoppage. Very crafty, seasoned AFL player.
Certainly is, and he's been a seriously good goal sneak for many years. It's been surprising so far in this game to see Green's been up around the wings and around the spending more time up around the footy basically, which surprises me because if he's going to make it back to the top level, he's not going to be playing up there.
No,
he's going to be playing deep.
Small forward, you'd assume.
Yeah. So Essendon, they bring it out wide. Parrish has got pressure on him. Now there's a rush kick on goal. Probably had more time there, did McQueen.
Yeah, real sharp hands there from Parrish.
It was. He knew the pressure was coming before he even had the footy.
He's a man that's going to really try and break his way back into the Essendon side at AFL level.
Yeah, you would have thought only 1 or 2 weeks for Parrish down here and he'll be straight back in. Kick went long for Richmond down the line. Coleman Jones was there, took an effective mark.
He's got Coates on at centre forward. He's going to go to him.
Just got through there nicely as Bolter's just going to try and gather it and sprint away from his man. He's got Baker in support, choosing not to go there. Silvestro coming to the footy. He's just ducked out of one tackle and then got dumped. Ball spilled out. McIntosh is there. He can't take it cleanly. And that was Ballard trying to barge his way through. And there's a free kick for too high going the way of Essendon.
Yeah, Tigers were out again there. Just didn't sit up for Bolter, did it?
Yeah, exactly. He just needed that one bounce to sit up into his lap, and he was away because he had a little bit of separation now. It's Green with it. He's going to bring it in board. Mark will be taken there. That's by Huntley.
You got Stewart on Coleman Jones. You'd probably want to try and take advantage of, but he's not really getting to the right spot here, James Stewart.
A few Essendon players trying to put the block on for Stewart a moment ago too. Couldn't get anything effective. The short kick goes to Parrish. He's 55 from home, too far out to score. He just turns and goes to the hot spot. Richmond got the numbers. Good fist there, and it just finds its way over the line.
Benny Miller there. Really developing nicely as that key back. 200 centimetres. It's very handy to have a mobile player at 200 centimetres able to play key back.
They're becoming increasingly more important in the AFL these days as player average heights, I think, just seem to go through the roof.
Yep.
Long clearing kick out of there. Ballard was the one who flew at it. Baker's there at the bottom. He's had plenty of footy early. Essendon got the numbers off the back of the contest. They try and bring it in board, but McIntosh could just intercept and then send it long, and you'd almost argue that's deliberate because he's looked up and
that wasn't the right decision from McIntosh. He had Tommy Silvestro running in the corridor in support. Probably should have gone there. And allowed the play to catch up. But
Silvestro was the only player forward of him when he had possession of the footy, so it was that or go for distance. But as soon as he did that and towards the line, well, I mean, what else are you trying to do?
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing to stop it. So good decision by the umpire. Parrish goes short to Green. Silvestro will man the mark. Green just saying, let's just slow it down. 26 gone. They've probably done it right in this term, Essendon, with the breeze, or against the breeze, rather. Coates at the front. It's going to be a free kick, I'd say, against
James Stewart went a touch early. Just a touch early on Garthwaite.
So Garthwaite, he was going to go really deep, and instead he just realised just go with the breeze and send it long. Ballard just floated in at the front. And now through hands, Bolter was there. Baker with it as well. He's got Lloyd over the top. He needs to get rid of it. He does eventually. Now Lloyd's just going to go right foot dribbler, and it's there. Good finish, good professional finish.
Thought he bit off a little bit more than he could chew there, Liam Baker.
Yeah, he did, didn't he? He had it for a long time. He probably could have gone a lot earlier than he did. But nonetheless, a goal to the Tigers to get there. 4-3-27. Essendon 1-2-8. 27 gone first term. Just starting to, I said I reckon the last goal they kicked too, starting to get some reward for basically their territory,
ascendancy.
I guess, wins they've had. Yeah, that'd be the word. So back in the middle now, they really need to look to go again, because you feel Essendon have probably had just enough of the footy to give them some confidence that they themselves could get a run on with that breeze in the second term. So Coleman Jones, Draper doing the ruck work, got to the back, McIntosh just gathered it, slipped, and then stood up, and then kicked it. Now Stengel goes and gathers it. He's going to send it in deep. And really good in the contest there. I reckon that was Hartley, the experienced defender.
Hartley. Well, the Tigers have done well when they have kicked goals. They've made the right choices inside 450, and they've actually found space inside 450 where Essendon have allowed the Tigers' numbers to roll back. But the Tigers, once they hit halfway, they've gone quick, and they've caught Essendon off guard, and they've got players out the back.
So Stengel with it. He's got Bolton out wide. He just evades his man and then goes for a little bit of a gallop. The left foot, I went to say kick. It was a handball rather. Ended up with Brewer. Now Brewer's giving it over to Bolter. He's deep in the pocket. He's going to bring it back in board. He's got a man on. Great vision.
What vision.
Super stuff.
That was outstanding by Noah Bolter. On his left. Could see
exactly, yeah.
Sean Manor coming from the opposite side of the ground. And the poise he showed, he could have had a flying shot at goal, but
there's the luck for Sean Manor there. When the ball was on our commentary position side, and he's called out the other wing, he's thinking, I'm stuffed here. I'm not a chance of getting involved. And then he just drifts into space. And then when Bolter had it, he's thinking he's not going on his left to me, surely.
Now he's going to drop punt here, which is I would have thought the check side would have been the go, but that's why he's playing VFL footy and I'm not.
Yep, that's why you're up here. So Manor with the Tigers fifth, 5-3-33. Essendon 1-2-8. Just a shout out to the scoreboard attendant down there on a day like this. That's not where you want to be. Richmond breaking this one open now. They've got a nice little buffer heading to quarter time. We've gone to almost 29.5 minutes. Good to see a bit of the Richmond faithful down here as well. They've chosen to avoid the stands. They'll stand down in the car park up against the fence. They like that sort of stuff, whereas you can see the Essendon fans filling up the stands. So in the centre now. That was Draper with the palm down. He got it out the back of the contest, and Essendon with the runs off the back of the squares. The siren sounds. Quarter time in this one at Windy Hill. Richmond 5-3-33, getting a nice little buffer on Essendon who are 1-2-8. It's an exciting first term in the end. It was a bit of a dour affair, I believe that's the word early on. It wasn't really going anywhere. You know, we had 2-1, I reckon, at about the 20-minute mark, and all of a sudden we got 5-1, and Richmond have got the buffer that they probably deserve. So
you can test a game like this. It's the Tigers' class on the outside through. Well, Sean Manor's got two. Liam Baker, Sam Lloyd. These sort of players, they're smart. They know where to run, when to run. And it's just their class inside 50 that's just got them on top here. And if they can run the ball similarly as they did in that quarter into the wind and take full advantage in the next quarter, then come the third quarter when they've got the win, they could have a very handy buffer.
Nah, spot on. And you can tell today it's not going to be the big blokes.
No.
They're not getting the job done today. It's all about those little guys, and as you mentioned, they've all got involved. So we might have a break here. A quarter time here at Windy Hill. It's Richmond leading Essendon 5-3-33 to 1-2-8. Welcome back to Windy Hill. Essendon v Richmond in the VFL here. Richmond just getting away nicely to 5-3 at 33 with the breeze in the first term. Essendon 1-2-8. Brendan, what are the stats telling us out of that first term?
It's all about run and carry on the outside and getting crafty in the small forwards and small midfielders. We've got Sam Lloyd with 9 disposals, Tyson Stengel with 7. And Liam Baker with 6.
I like the pause.
Yeah, Liam Baker with 6 from an Essendon point of view. We had Sheehan with 13, Parrish with 12, and Nick Hind with 8. Goal kickers for the Tigers. We had singles to Lloyd, Baker, Coates, and 2 to Sean Manor. And for the Dons, we had 1 goal. Sole goal kicker is Jackson Merritt.
What are we looking at inside 50s wise for that first term? I'm expecting a high number.
Differential of 10?
Differential of 10, yeah.
18 to 8 in favour of the Tigers. And then let's see how Essendon uses the ball with the wind. Into the wind, they probably went too slow. Yeah. They didn't run and carry with hands. They allowed the Tigers to fold back.
Exactly, yeah.
And when the Tigers went quick, they looked very dangerous inside 50.
When you are going into the wind, you can't just sit the ball up and expect that long kick to work. Yeah, as you say, you've got to run and carry, you've got to use hands, and they just really did fail to do that on a lot of occasions, Essendon. So be interesting to see how Richmond go about this now. It's funny, you look out in the trees and that sort of thing. It looks like it's died down.
I don't think it does look like that, but I don't think it has.
I think it's deceiving.
Yeah.
So we're back in the centre. Get this second term underway at Windy Hill. Draper will do the ruck work. Bolter will go up against him. Been a good battle in the first term, and we'll keep going now as the wind just took that ball straight to Bolter. McIntosh trying to get involved. He just spun out of a would-be tackler and then handballed it out towards the wing. He was looking for Lloyd, but running over to it was Credlin trying to get away. Went out to the wing. Lloyd went back, and there's going to be a free kick for a push, I reckon, in there. Yep. Credlin will end up with it centre wing out of side.
Good player from Frankston YCW, the Premiership factory down the coast.
So his kick just went long down the line and floating up and taking a nice mark there. I reckon that's Zerk Thatcher. There's a name for you.
That's an absolute great name there.
Switches the ball to Green.
He should have gone to Francis there.
He took far too long to go to him, didn't he?
Yeah.
He should have done that kick a couple of seconds earlier. Now Francis just had Bolton for company and played on and then had the pressure on him. Now his handball was really poor, looking for Ridley. Baker's with it. He's going to play on. He just tried to sell the candy and in doing so dropped the pill. Handballs are back to McIntosh. He gets a rush kick away. Silvestro was in the way of it. He was about 2 metres away. Now they go head over the footy again. Silvestro with the tackle. We'll have a ball up on the paint of 50. Tigers into attack.
Sorry to go back, but if Green went to Francis earlier, they were out. But now they've got a D50, D50 stoppage, and the Tigers are looking very dangerous here.
So Stengel to Bolton. Bolton around the corner. It's intercepted. Essendon can reload.
Tigers forwards are going to have to play in front into this term. It's got to be imperative.
Short kick to Green. Now, a moment ago too, you had Lavender, I think it is, who led up when that first mark was initially taken. There was this paddock in front of him. He could have gone the low spear and kick, hit him up, chose not to, and now they end up having to go to a contest, and this is what happens.
Yeah, absolutely.
Richmond get the numbers around, and they can hold it up quickly. McIntosh with a strong tackle, and yet support in Caulfield.
See, the Bombers, they haven't really adjusted the way they're playing with the win. They've got to run. They've got to run and carry. They've got to get quick. They're just allowing too many Tigers numbers to fall back.
I think it's almost a similar play. Either way you're going with these conditions, run and carry. Try to take out the kicking out of the game, basically, until you need to put it through. That long kick went inside 450, but it's just been held up 40 out from the Essendon goal.
Connor Riley and Jackson Merritt just getting a bit of just getting acquainted.
Yeah, it's getting to know each other. It's all friendly stuff on the footy field.
Absolutely.
Bolter got the palm down. Baker's there. He went to blaze away and then handballed it out in front of Silvestro and then went back and got it again. So Baker on the left slipper just sends it out wide. And a nice mark taken there by Credlin, who just got into a little bit of space. So defensive side of the centre there for Credlin. He's just going to send it long now. And much the same as Essendon in that first term. It was just a nothing kick to a contest. And Essendon got the numbers if they can work it out the back of that contest. And they do now. Hurried kick away from there over the head of Menadue. Trying to slap that one was Unit.
It's the right side of the ground for the Bombers. That's the attacking side, and let's just see what they can do from this front half stoppage. Let's see that the likes of Parrish and Jackson Merritt can get crafty here.
You're spot on. Richmond don't want to let them own that wing in this term. It'll get ugly quickly if they do. So back into play. Draper just slapped it out the back, and the clearing kick just goes to the hot spot in a 2 or 3 situation. A nice mark taken there by Caulfield. He's going to look to our commentary side. He's got Silvestro. The kick didn't really do him any favours, but it did so there for Ernest, who was charging down the wing. His kick had to be a good one, and it wasn't bad. Sullivan got it, and now he's just going to chip it out in front of a runner there of Baker, who's got, well, he's got Coleman Jones who's just running to the hot spot, and eventually they tried to stuff it up on a number of occasions. He just ran and kicked the open goal. So the first term of the second term goes to Coleman Jones. Richmond a 6-3, a 39. Essendon 1-2-8.
That's a very smart kick by Max O'Sullivan. He had no one in front of him, but he just caught Liam Baker out of the corner of his eye.
Yep.
Put it down in front of him, gathered, Coleman Jones. That's just how you do it.
Exactly. Lucky the bounce sat up for Coleman Jones too. Could have been made to look real silly if that had bounced at the right angles. The ball we use in this game is a funny shape and can do funny things. So now all the players just make their way back to position. A good start for the Tigers against the breeze, getting the first of the second. Just makes it harder for Essendon to get back again. Bolter had 2 palms of that. Stengel went up, just slapped it forward. Baker coming off the line, found Lloyd. He's going to go out wide. He's got Shea Bolton there. Can't quite gather it. Eventually does. He's got Green for company. Sidesteps him. And then another. That was super stuff. And then he'll go again. Now he's sending it inside forward 50. He's going to go deep. He's got Coleman Jones. He's going to fly from the side. Stengel's at the front. The fist just got it away from him. And Francis watched it over the line.
Shea Bolton deployed in the midfield and onto the wing the last probably 6 weeks, but he's spending more midfield time in there the last fortnight. He's looking dangerous around the ball.
He is. He's a creative player, and as you say, around the ball, that's a very handy asset to have. Bolter got the palm, couldn't find a teammate. Clean kick out of there. That was marked nicely by Merritt. So Merritt down the line. Garthwaite got a fist on, just slides off his knuckles over the line.
And so the Tigers just folding numbers back as well again here. So if they get a quick kick out of this stoppage, you assume the Tigers will be able to map it up. So the Dons are going to try and have to run through hands.
It's a difficult task throwing the ball in on this wing today. Parrish got it out the back. Green, rush kick away from there. Mark couldn't be taken. Bolton tried to get involved. Eventually it works its way back to him. He tries to shrug the tackle, but that was super stuff there. That was from Hocking. Dumped him. And eventually, though, the umpire will call for it. Ball in the hands there of Heppel.
Heath Hocking, very seasoned ex-AFL player.
Yes, I was going to say.
I believe the captain of the Essendon VFL side.
Been around for a long time as Heath Hocking. So just bounced off a few sets of hands there. And eventually there was a kick away from Wood. Brewer tried to mark it, couldn't do so. Stengel goes in and gets it. Then the fend off and then the kick inboard. Now this is dangerous, very dangerous, because Essendon can mark and then go. In the hands now of Berry. He's going to send it long and it gets out the back, and Richmond with the spare are able to get a mark and clear it now. Kick had to be good and the mark had to be even better, and that was super there from Batty. He's going to handball it inboard, put Menager under pressure, shrugged his man, then kicked it into an opponent. But the Tigers got the numbers of getting a reload. Another smother there. Parrish will pick it up. Handball to Draper. Now he's got a runner there. Now getting away is Hind. He gets to the centre of the ground and sends this one inside forward 50. He has to get out the back to a runner there in Newton. If he can gather it in goal, he can't do so yet. Eventually it's sat for him. Now he loses his man. Right foot banana. Round the corner. Or right foot sack. That'd be the better way to put it. And it's just snuck through for a goal to Essendon. They're second. They move along to a 2-2-14. Richmond 6-3-39.
So you move a quick off half-back. Roll your numbers up and then get him behind the play with the wind. Good things happen.
Simple game.
It is.
For some reason.
People try and overcomplicate it.
Yep. There's many things we could complain about when it comes to overcomplicating in this game. One could be a rule that saw a 50-metre earlier. So the margin stands at 25 points in favour of Richmond, but doing their work into the breeze in this term. Essendon need to get a move on. Lloyd tried to gather. Eventually, though, Riley got a handball out. Then McIntosh sends it forward. Baker's at the front of that contest. Didn't sit for him. Bolter was good. Bolton as well was good. But Essendon
great smother by
get the
Shea Bolton
kick.
there.
They don't. As you said, Shea Bolton with the smother.
Yeah, superb.
Works its way to the line. Richmond players calling for deliberate. not there thrown in.
So the Tigers love to see. They know how creative and explosive he is with ball in hand, but those little things
Yep.
are the ones that are going to really develop into his game. He's going to make it AFL level.
So throwing Draper with the palm down. That was a really good one. It was effective to Heppel. Green was involved. Ends up with it again. Now he's got to kick out wide to Parrish. The wind's carried it away from him, though. Nash should get there first, and he does. Then he just burns Parrish. Handballs it in board. Coates has got it. Goes back to Nash. He's going to have to sidestep one and then go again. Now he sends it deep inside forward 50. Lloyd's at the back. He's going to fly. Gets to the front of the contest. Baker was there. His handball's intercepted. If he got through, they were out. Good smother, though, from Baker. He went and followed up with some good work. Now Silvestro, he's got a man on, and that's perfect to Manor. He'll just play on a kick to goal. How about that?
Oh.
The Tigers' forward pressure was huge there. And they've got their 7th, 7-3, 45. Essendon 2-2-14, 9-minute mark of the second term.
That's Richmond 101.
It is.
The Dons turned the footy over.
Yep.
And they were looking to release from their D50. Liam Baker with a superb smother. Thomas Silvestro is selfless. Finds Sean Manor, who strolls in for his third. But put that down to Patrick Nash on the outer wing.
Oh, yeah.
Multiple efforts. And then got the 1-2 from Billy Coates. And went inside 50 and got a goal from there.
Yep, spot on. So the Tigers playing some really good footy into the wind here. Forward pressure was huge. They got the good result in the end. So bounce now. Essendon with a clearing kick through Green. Said this one inside forward 50. Went over the head of Garthwaite. He was trying to get involved. Houlihan will get there first. Shrugs the tackle. No, Silvestro was strong. Held him up. We'll have a ball up in the left forward pocket for Essendon. Stewart doing the ruck work against Bolter. Green was there. Ball came out. McIntosh was involved as well.
Kenan McIntosh being deployed as an inside mid. Used to be playing on the wing / half back at AFL level, but inside mid today.
Big body at this level.
Yep. Big body, hard worker. Runs all day, and that's out in the full.
Yeah, rush kick out of that contest.
Now, it's going to be interesting to see how the Tigers get out of this one. It's the tough pocket to be in, kicking into the wind. As a Crow attempts to fly into the wind and just decides...
Doesn't work.
That's
trying to fly into it, and the wind's just said, no, mate, you're going 50 metres down the road. That was rather entertaining.
Yeah, it was, actually. There's going to be a few footies lost down that end of the game. On the ground, I'm sure, today.
Yeah, there'll be some upset kids as their footies get carried away. And clearing kick to the wing. Nice fly and mark from Stewart.
Yeah, this is the kick where Essendon's got to get right here. Got Caulfield sitting in the corridor, just waiting.
Now, that was a pretty poor kick in the end,
it
but
was.
Stewart could have almost just sized that up and had a shot.
Yes, he should have. He actually should have. Let's just see where Joel Ernest goes here. He's going to come to the grandstand side.
So Ernest just goes nice and long out to the wing. Draper marks. Really good.
Now let's see what Essendon does.
No, he did.
Yeah. Let's see
Thought
what they
was
do
going to be given to Coates.
Let's see what the Tigers are just so good. They're just so quick to get numbers back and create a contest.
They did set up superbly, did the Tigers, and ends up with Menadue. Wanted to give the hands. Eventually did the McIntosh. He went out wide. Under pressure. Now there's a short kick up the wing. Ballard tried to get involved. Couldn't take it cleanly. Francis was there as well. Coleman Jones picks it up. He's got a man on. That was Wood. He's going to kick it down the line, but out in the full.
Yeah, it was well done there by Bolter. He was under pressure. Used a bit of poise. It didn't come off coming into the corridor, but it was the right move. And caused a free kick to Essendon, but this is where the Tigers are just so good. They'll try and keep it skinny, keep it to this grandstand side, force the long down the line, and then create the contest, run through hands, and try and set up another foray forward.
So Hartley, he's just going to go long, just sinks the slipper into it. Wind carries it out towards the line. Mark almost taken Coleman Jones. Roving was done well by Ernest. Now it ends up in the hands of O'Sullivan. Tries to sidestep a couple. His little grubber along the line was intercepted by Minute.
Good work, Jim.
That's me third different pronunciation.
There's one every week, isn't there? There's a name every week.
There's always one.
There's always one. There's always one.
Yeah, but footy when there's 44 players, or rather in the VFL 46, there's always going to be one that gets you.
This is the push for the Tigers here, I reckon. Or no, is he going to Essendon?
It has gone to Essendon. And
or is he,
no, he's pointing that way because he's trying to get the man whose free kick it is. And I always like that when there's a free kick paid and the player who's receiving the free kick doesn't even know it's there. And that's when you think, yeah, was the free kick there? So the ball in the hands of O'Sullivan. McIntosh put on a short lead. Probably wouldn't have been a bad option in the conditions. Instead, he just goes long. Coleman Jones at the front of this contest. He's going to get held underneath it. The spoil was good and just took it out to the line for a throw-in.
Tigers won't mind this. Front half stoppage. They're generally pretty crafty around here. Watch out for this. Liam Baker just sitting off the stoppage here. Defensive side. Just watch him.
So Coleman Jones got the palm down, but that was super roving there. That was Hocking just charging through. Ends up with Stewart now. He went the fend off and then dropped the pill. Union with it. Fend off on Baker. I thought he got him high, and then he just spins around, sends it long. But Richmond once again has set up super well down there. I think that's Riley with the footy.
Dan Caulfield, actually.
Caulfield, sorry.
Sorry, Jim. It just...
and then he's just kicked it out in the full.
That just caught up in the breeze and just went out in the full. But in saying that, his intercept marking was very, very good. This is a man that's missed a lot of the season, missed most of the pre-season with injuries, just settling back into the side now. His fourth game back, but he's as resolute as they come down back.
So Draper sends this one long. Just snuck out the back of the contest. Caulfield involved. Essendon trying to work it out on the line. Can't do so, and we'll have a throw in. The handball was looking for Clark, but couldn't get the kick away.
Tigers defending extremely well here. You'd assume a five goal breeze, Jim. Would you say that?
You'd have to go with that, wouldn't you? It's starting to prove that way, but Richmond's structures have just been that good and not allowing it to really eventuate for Essendon. McIntosh involved in the middle there. His handball couldn't find a target as the numbers around the footy are just letting this go nowhere. This is what Essendon needed to do in that first term. They needed to clog up that forward 50 of Richmond and just not give them any easy possessions or easy shots on goal. Yeah,
too often there were too many one-on-ones in the front half of the Tigers, weren't there? Essendon just probably didn't work back defensively hard enough, and we know the Tigers will, but that's really what they brought into the game. They're clean. They're so clean by hand at AFL and VFL level, the Tigers. They know, they trust each other. They trust that they know a teammate's going to be running into space, and they just use that. They use them as well. So if you get used, you're going to keep running and presenting and creating space, aren't you?
Yep. So Garthwaite.
Well, that's going to go out in the full.
He started that kick not far enough in field to keep it in play.
You've almost got to start that at the centre square, and just
you do. You got to aim at the edge of the centre square if you want to go to the boundary line.
Yep.
Especially if you're going to sit it that high up in the air as the wind just picks up again. Now Hartley's just. How do you describe?
That was a helicopter.
aiming at 20. He's aiming at 20 metres out, top of the square sort of area, and it's gone through for a minor score.
That's the one I'd like to see, the Dons come short on 45 into the corridor and just try to attack from there. Just but where Hartley is kicking into, that's always going to carry over the line. And
the concern is if you go that short into the corridor,
it's risky.
It's risky, but on a day like this, it's probably not.
No.
So take it on.
That's right.
Menachou clearing kick out of there. That's a good result for the Tigers.
Yeah, Hartley was just too shallow there, not deep enough. And it went over his head, and very good result for the Tigers here.
Hartley probably feeling with the conditions he could get a little bit closer to the contest, but that one just carried him. So the umpire to throw it in.
It's going to sit up.
It's just going to sit and very likely fall short. No, Draper read it well. There's a free kick for a hold. Advantage called. Essendon are going to work it out to Francis. He's 55, has a little stumble, and then just pumps it long. It's almost put a hole in the fence behind the goals that goes through for a minor score.
Had some velocity.
2-5.
He can kick the ball like a mule. As an Essendon fan, I'm sure you're going to want to see him at AFL level at some stage.
He'd frustrate, wouldn't he?
Yeah, he would. I saw him I think it was last year. His first half on Anzac Day was superb, but he just hasn't got the tank at the moment, unfortunately. He's got the tools, just hasn't got the tank.
Shea Bolton handballed it in board. Stengel was dumped. Holding the ball too. Not sure about that from Hartley there. Just a little rub on the head. Goes bad luck.
Probably wouldn't want to do that Tyson Stengel, he's probably generally going to come back and bite you on the butt.
Yep. So the free kick coming back to Crosby.
Tigers got coverage in the corridor here.
So he's just going to go long as well, and it's going to go into the pocket because he didn't angle it out far enough. Parrish does the roving, but he'll struggle to keep that one in, and he doesn't.
Now, the Dons forwards are pleading with him to hit the corridor, but the Tigers had good coverage there. The spot was right, but just the execution wasn't there. And there wasn't a connection between forward and midfielder. So it was a right kick, just execution was just off.
Thrown back into play. Bolted on the ruck work for Essendon. Draper once again is involved. Green was there. He overran it, eventually gathered a handball in ball. They're going to get a goal here. Super hands there from Green. Set that one up nicely. And Essendon have got their third, 3-5 now. 23. Richmond 7-3, 45.
Yeah, just crafty by Josh Green, wasn't it? Just didn't panic. Found the free player in the goal square, and then it was pretty easy from there. That's how they're going to have to scrap their goals. You feel today, like their tall forwards aren't looking very menacing. No,
you're right. And in saying that, you've got to say at both ends they haven't. It's just Richmond's the smalls have got into more dangerous positions. So as we approach the 20-minute mark of the second term, Tigers still with a 22-point buffer. Bolter stands underneath at the umpire, call it back.
Now, Jim, it's getting a bit dark here. There are no lights here at Windy Hill. So
we could be in a bit of trouble later on.
Absolutely.
Especially if the rain does arrive. Parrish with the clearing kick out of there on the left slipper, sends it forward. Green pulled out of that one. Comes out there to Clark, gathers it now, handballs it back. That was good. That found McQueen. He goes short. That's Hocking. He's going to send it inside forward 50 on that left boot. Oh, how's that? Unit. Just over the top. Takes a nice clunk.
It was smart by Dylan Clark because he just came that short 45 kick, that short kick into the corridor. Then it opened the ground up a bit. Hocking put it to the right spot. The wind brought it back into the corridor. It was a strong mark by Union.
Yep. You can see a little bit of rain has just arrived.
Yeah, the kids setting up behind the goals here. They've got their eyes on another footy.
They're eyeing it off. Gets over that net. It gets stuffed under the jumper and says, what footy? Union will go from about 40. Kick on its way. Started it right. And it just sneaks through. Essendon needed it. That's their fourth. 4-5. 29. They trail Richmond 7-3, 45. Similar to Richmond in the first term. They're getting the goals late with the wind in the term.
That was the best foray forward for Essendon today. This smart football, squaring ball inside, open up the corridor, and it took a really strong mark by Union. But it was a classy finish too.
It was. It really was. He drilled it too. He didn't sit it up and let it get terribly affected. Kicked it with plenty of momentum. And through it went. So umpire with it, persisting with the bounce even in these conditions. And I must say credit to him. He nailed it. The players, though, it went that high that they were all able to get under the fall of it. And as a result, it's not going anywhere. Parrish with the tackle.
Now, 21-minute mark of the second term here. The Tigers won't want to concede another, you'd assume. They don't want to get it back to within that 2 to 3 goal margin. They want to try and keep that comfortable buffer because the wind can do funny things if a side gets momentum. And the Dons will have the win in the last quarter.
Yep. They don't want to give him something to be able to chase down in that last quarter. They want to be clear at three-quarter time. Bolton with it. Just goes short. No, sorry, Bolton gathering it now. It was Manager with the kick. Sorry, Lloyd with the kick. Third time lucky.
Rain getting heavier here, Jim.
It is. So Bolton goes inside forward 50. Coates going to try to get out underneath it, but Draper's there. Put himself in a dangerous position and took a good mark.
So that's where the forwards had to play in front there. Too many Tiger forwards caught behind.
So Draper goes long. Garthwaite's there. Gets a fist on it. Slid off the knuckles. Essendon got the numbers here. A little toe poke puts out the advantage of Hocking. He can give the hands off to Unit. He can get to 50 now. This is a smart kick. He sent us at Silvestre. Will have to be good. Good courage from both players there. Garthwaite's back there in support. Gets the hands out the back of this contest. Trying to get away. I think Miller was involved. Essendon, no, they're trying to get a shot on goal. Eventually, that comes through Zerk Thatcher. He just sends it to the top of the square, comes off hands, and it'll work its way over the boundary line.
Superb courage by both players there.
That was huge, wasn't it?
But it's superb by Tommy Silvestro. That was a near certain goal for the Dons. They were out.
If he didn't go,
they were out.
It was a goal.
It was a goal. Superb stuff, Tommy Silvestro. You'd assume that he'd get replayed multiple times during the week.
Yep. So thrown back into play deep inside forward 50 for Essendon. They need goals. Bounces off hands. Unum was involved. Silvestro's working up. Bolton lays a tackle. Green scout in the pack. Menadue in the end able to hold it up. So 25 out from the Essendon goal. They just keep looking for something. Kick out of there. Went to Stengel. Parrish was up there as well. Berry's over the footy. Once again, there'll be another stoppage.
Yeah, Coleman Jones and coach structuring up down the line here for a quick kick out.
Mano just trying to barge his way through. Gives the hands back. Menadue spins out of trouble. That was good work out to Bolton. If he can keep it in, he just can't. You feel that Richmond were away there. If that handball had found Bolton.
It's the side of Connor Menadue's game that's really developing. His inside contested work. He was superb last week when he thrust into the midfield. And a clean pair of hands there. And it just didn't sit up for Shea Bolton because he was away.
Good vision too.
Yeah.
He knew Bolton was there, which in that sort of traffic, sensational effort. So Essendon, they're going to get a flying shot at goal here. It's going to go right to the top of the square. Baker's going to gather it for the Tigers. Short handball over the top. Lloyd was there as well. Now Menadue, but there's a free kick coming back against Lloyd. They're saying he's got Berry just across the chops when he's got that fist involved.
The Tigers were out there. That's unfortunate.
So Berry, does he have a shot himself? He's going to go short. Almost justified. I think that was Hartley pushing up. No, Hartley's back in defence. Bolton's with it. Handball out wide. Trying to get away there was Miller. Couldn't do so. Lloyd's got his head over it. Essendon with good forward 50 pressure at the moment. Not letting the Tigers out. Now Shea Bolton just rushes it on the boot and he'll be lucky to find the line. He does. Just bounced inside the field and play and will have a throw in.
Now the Bombers are starting to enter their forward 50 in a manner which is attacking and creative. Unlike previous in the game where they were just blasting inside 50 and then the likes of Garthwaite were just chopping it off. They're looking at the corridor, they're lowering their eyes, and they've got good connection. You
almost say it took until about the 20-minute mark of this term to work that out.
Yep.
And now they're starting to get the reward as the rush kick inside forward 50 is going to find its way out the back of the pack. No Unum very, but wow, he tried to fend off but got tackled, taken to the ground. He's been pinned on the ball.
Ryan Garthwaite here down, hurt.
He's sore.
Getting up a little bit ginger.
So it was Caulfield a moment ago with that tackle was super. Garthwaite's still down.
Just limping.
Now there's going to be a free kick there. Hocking's got it too.
What? Hocking's got it?
Hocking just off the footy there. Copped a hit. I'm not sure, how.
Well, Unum and Garthwaite
how hard it was.
Acquainting themselves. I don't know if Ryan Garthwaite.
No, Garthwaite I think saw the incident.
Okay.
He was still on the ground when it happened.
Well,
I'm not sure who it was that got Hocking, but Hocking can make him pay here.
No.
And that kick was never online. He started to the left, and today they ain't coming back.
No. I was lucky by the Tigers. It's a bit of ill discipline that.
It was, yeah. Inside that didn't.
I don't know if there was much in it.
From where we are, it looked like wasn't a lot in it, and he's Hocking maybe went down a little easier than he should have.
That's another pet hate of mine, Jim.
Well, that's why I don't like soccer. So the clearing kick out of there for the Tigers. There was no one really sitting underneath. The Coleman Jones couldn't get up to the footy in time. Baker's there trying to barge his way out of there. He just ducked back into a tackle. And now the trainers, after about a minute and a half, finally get to Garthwaite, who's still just hobbling around there playing the goalkeeper role.
Tough on Bray.
He just tells them where to go.
Yep.
I'll be right.
Doesn't want to come off.
Boltar with the clearing handball out of there. Brings it back, trying to get involved with Zerk Thatcher. Now trying to clear that area behind. Got the hands away, comes back, Parrish with it. Gave a quick one off to Hocking. Now there's a free kick for a push.
Go to the Tigers, I'll say, or is it going to go to...
No, it's going to Essendon.
It's going to Dylan Clark. He's a classy young player, Dylan Clark. I've been impressed with what I've seen of him today.
So So Dylan Clark just going to get a short kick. It worked just. Stewart had to stretch. Now he's going to send it in long. Now he angled that kick well to get it to the dangerous position. The flyers went up. Draper came off his hands, came down. The Rovers were held up quickly. So we'll have a ball up 15 out directly in front of the Essendon goal.
Yeah, much better by James Stewart there. That's right. You got to angle it into the corridor. You know the wind's going to bring it back round.
Yep.
So,
if anyone can clunk one of those marks today, they're doing well to read it.
Yeah.
Essendon with a flying shot on goal, and there's the finish. It's there. Essendon get their fifth, 5-6-36. They cut it back to 9 points. Richmond 7-3-45.
That was Nick Hind, I believe. It's snuck that in. A very classy player. Very good at VFL level.
Yep.
I don't know if a couple of AFL recruiters might be looking at him for possibly a late selection later on in the year. But tell you what, the Bombers have fought back really well here.
They certainly have. And it's just been the latter stages of this term. Since about the 20-minute mark, they've been able to put the foot down, been able to lock it inside their half of the ground and get repeat shots on goal, and eventually they've got the reward. So 9-point buffer to Richmond. And you'd say largely that's just a result of some more effective disposal inside forward 50 in the first term. So back in the middle now, Bolter v Draper. I like Draper's work so far. He just went and got his own footy then as well and just kicked a nice little spiral punt out of there. It's carried about 60 metres and it's going to go join my car out there in a moment.
The kids are swarming on this footy.
The kids, I'll unlock it for you to throw it in the back.
Now, you're right, Jim. The Bombers' ball use is allowing them to set up behind their attack and allowing them to get repeat entries inside 50 and then getting that quick snap on goal from Nick Hind. They're the ones that are going to be really valuable today.
You've got to get those ones,
Yeah.
They're the easier kick today.
Absolutely,
yep. So be thrown in deep, Essendon. If they can try and get one late, we've gone 30 minutes. You'd expect the sign not far away. Clearing kick from Shea Bolton out of there. Coleman Jones was sitting underneath it. Trying to get to the footy with Zerk Thatcher. He couldn't gather it. Essendon, though, they got numbers off the back of the contest. Green couldn't pick it up cleanly. Stengel's with it. He's going to shrug one and then try another. He got the handball away. Just Zerk Thatcher's there. Brings it in board. I think that's Clark with it. Goes to fend off now. Handballs it out wide. Hartley have to give one quickly. His man couldn't take possession of it. And now a strong tackle out of Coleman Jones held up centre wing commentary side.
He's gone up in this one, Jim.
It has just at the moment here. Richmond, I think, have recognised that there's a... Essendon's putting it on a little bit and recognise that they need to be as close as possible at half time. Richmond now protecting that lead. Draper tapped it out the back. Clearing kick from Wood. Didn't go all that far though. Bolter was there, but Essendon now to work this one to centre half forward. Parrish is putting on the pressure. Richmond with numbers can spin and get out of trouble there. That was good from Ernest. Got the hands away, but...
Oh, good tackle there by Joel Ernest.
Really strong stuff. Stayed in the contest.
Yeah, had a really good game against Northern Blues and then found himself back down at local level. It's just the way the VFL program works, but he's a very, very classy developing halfback.
Heppel sent that one long inside forward 50 and Caulfield couldn't hold it.
Numbers on the outside, on the outer side here. If they can move it quickly.
So it's Naish with it in the back pocket.
Essendon's held them up well here.
Now that's a dangerous kick. Only makes it to the half-back flank. Richmond lucky to have numbers at the fall of the ball. And now they can bring it out towards our commentary side. McIntosh is there to kick over the top. Had to be weighted well, and it was perfect. Landed in between three Essendon players. McIntosh able to take the mark. Brewers on for a short lead. Chooses not to go there. No, he does eventually. Just went over his head, though, on a mark. Taken safely there from Wood.
Ryan Bathy down the line here with Coleman Jones and Billy Coates, but just a little bit far away, I'd assume.
Just not reading the play well. Francis gets up to it, takes a nice mark in the hands. Now, he needs to just turn and go. There's not much time left. He's going to use the corridor. Dangerous on most days. A safer option today. Parrish was there, read it well. He's bursting away. The short kick had to be good. And it was. So he's found a man 50 out. Now short one on his unit in the half-forward flank, and he marks it 45 out. On a sizable angle, but it's where you want to be on the ground with this breeze.
Absolutely. He's going to be. He could just bring this home on the breeze. As you said, Jim, I reckon in the middle of the right-hand points, and just let it come back on the breeze. But you can't just chip it up into the breeze because it just does too much.
Otherwise, it does. And otherwise, it goes violently. You've got to kick it with a bit of purpose here. Exactly what Noonan did earlier in the term when he slotted one from 45 out directly in front. And he's given this one a go. He's kicked it straight at the goals, and then he's let it fade. Didn't start it in the right spot.
No, he had to hit that. If he's going to do that, he had to kick it at the point post.
Yep.
And then at the goal post, and allow it to come back. But it was the right move. Yeah, space.
It was,
side.
yeah. It's almost poor covering from the Richmond defence that allowed him that sort of angle to have the shot. Richmond clearing kick out of there, just dropped into the lap of Ballard. Been quiet in this term.
This is where the Tigers have just struggled a bit this term in transitioning from D50 to 450. It's always tough into the win, but their run and carry game's gone away from them a bit in this term.
So Richmond through Manor going to bring it into the corridor. Silvestro's there. He has got a man in support. Gives it off now to Nash. She's going to shrug one and then handball out wide. Now it's just going to be a hurried kick inside forward 50 and the siren sounds. Essendon 5-8, 38. Richmond 7-3, 45. And what was a long term in the end, almost 34 minutes. Richmond were going to half-time with an advantage, and purely it's just because they took a better advantage of the win.
Absolutely. And 4 goals to 2 that term. Those 2 goals into the win were valuable because now they're clinging to a 7-point lead. A little bit of they got a little bit of work to do in the third term, but they used the win so well in the first. You'd assume they would do that again in the third, but they're going to have to use the ball better going into the win in the final term because Essendon, with their tails up with the wind, look pretty dangerous.
They'll give it a run, especially in front of the home fans. Could be a little bit of noise behind them. So, entertaining second half coming up. We might take a break and come back with that action for you shortly. Essendon trailing Richmond's 5-8-38 to Richmond's 7-3-45. Welcome back to Windy Hill VFL action. Essendon v Richmond. Essendon trailing Richmond in this one, 5-8-38 to Richmond 7-3-45 in what's been a game played in 2 quarters, I guess. Yeah. Well, it has been 2 quarters, but it's been very much all at one end of the ground with the wind.
I absolutely know what you're talking about, Jim.
Yes, it's
yes, the side who had the win gained the ascendancy in both quarters. Now the Tigers have it in the third. They kick 5 in the first. Now you're going to want to hope for a repeat of that dose in the third term. Just a quick on stats-wise, we got Liam Baker had 14 disposals, Shea Bolton with 13 and Connor Menadue with 13. From an Essendon's perspective, we had Darcy Parish with 18, Dylan Clark with 15, and we're away here, Jim, Nick Hind with 14.
Perfect. Nice quick read of that as Richmond just trying to edge this one forward. Parish was involved. I think it was Zerk Thatcher there involved as well. Strong tackle from Bolton was slipped. Baker got involved as well, and it's holding the ball, so Essendon. So Richmond rather will go forward for the first time in this quarter.
And when you fend off, that's your prior opportunity, and you get tackled. That's a perfect example of that rule to the letter of the law.
So Baker just runs around and then sends this one deep. He knew exactly where to angle that one. But the kick had no Tigers flying at it. They needed numbers at the fall of it. Didn't have any green. Attacked the footy well. Parish did also. It was McIntosh with a strong tackle on him. Almost gave one away for in the back, and then it's a free kick. It says he just sat on, I think, and obviously didn't really make an attempt. Now I like this.
Camden McIntosh will have a go here. He's not a booming kick of the ball, but he can kick it from 50 at least. And with the wind, he should carry the line here. Now it's just going to be a matter of
getting the line right.
Exactly right. Technique and getting the line right, and this should sail through.
He really is backing himself in. I can see him getting too close to the man on the mark the way he's going here. He's going to get nice and close, but then he's just going to give it a nice ride. It's going to go long, and he hasn't got the journey. It's going to come off hands for him on a score. He didn't have any momentum through that, did he?
No.
There was it was just a walk, just a casual walk, and then almost just chipped it thinking he'd get the journey easy. So Essendon try to clear it out there now. They're going to strew it long. He's going to get beaten by Bolter. McIntosh was at the fall of the foot. He had his head over it. He looked to get something out of there. Free kick.
Now we've got a breaking play here, Jim. I'll just go through the goal kickers. Richmond with 3 to Sean Manor and singles to Baker, Lloyd, Coleman Jones, and also Billy Coates.
Yep.
And we're back here away, and we're going to get another stoppage with Noah Bolter wrapping things up. We'll go through Essendon goal kickers. We had Dan Noonan? Dan Noonan,
that's what I was rolling with.
Dan Noonan with 2. And singles to Jackson Merritt, Huntley, and also Nick Hind.
Perfect. So Darcy Parish with the free kick. He's had plenty of the footy so far. Switched the ball out wide. And now they can go for a little bit of a gallop through the ground. Looking for Hocking, but the kick was ill-directed. That found Caulfield. He's then going to send it deep. Coleman Jones pushed up to the footy. Couldn't mark. Lloyd on the wing. Tries to get around one. Does so. Then send it inside forward 50. Baker underneath it. Nice little block in the end for Manor, who's marked 45 out.
Max O'Sullivan. So it's 52 and 62, Jim. It is close.
It is a close number.
It's
You're
on
right.
the far side of the ground, so we'll give you that one.
To be fair, I did actually think I saw 52. So, look, time for new specs.
They're both from the Albury area. I believe Sean Manor from North Albury, and I think Max O'Sullivan from Albury Football Club.
So Sullivan then. He's going to get to the paint of 50 and give this one a ride. I reckon he's pushed this across the face, and he has. Minor score. They don't want to make that a trend, the Tigers. They've got to take full advantage of this breeze because they don't want to give Essendon something that's chaseable in the final term. Essendon, short kick and then a long kick. Goes out towards the wing. Stewart was coming in to get underneath it. Draper flew, so did Bolter at the front. Essendon got the numbers to get a clearance out of there. Silvestro's got it. It was touched off the boot, so he has to turn and go. The kick will move down the field. And now Essendon just trying to edge out of there, get something going forward again. Can't do so. Richmond got the numbers around it. Now there's a clearing kick out of there. All the hands sitting underneath it. There'll be a good fist there. I reckon that was
Patrick Nash.
Sorry, the involved. Menadue with it. He took a bounce and then ran into some trouble. Then sidestepped his man, touched the pill on the ground, and then went around again. Now he gets it on the left. It's only going to go about 30 metres further afield, but Stengel's going to get to it and take it on the chest. Rode that one well.
Good work by Connor Menadue there. The forward just had to wait for the forwards to present to him.
Yep.
And Tyson Stengel playing in front. Very nice mark.
So Stengel, he's just going to chip this one into a dangerous position, but there was no one there to fly.
No.
That was his issue. So Essendon, that's through Heppel can take it out to the outer side and they can build that way, but they're too slow. So now Richmond get a chance to set up.
It's where
covered up well.
Yeah, they like to try and march the ball up through uncontested mark here, but the Tigers are going to try and force them long down the line. Francis into the corridor. It was there, but it was very nicely chopped off. Well, he's called chopping of the arms.
That's an interesting one.
Yeah.
So the free kick will go the way of Minot.
That's a fourth rendition of his
name.
I'm getting you run with.
Coming up with plenty of different ones. Green had to fly from behind on Menadue. Couldn't bring it down. Menadue had a chance, went and got the pill, but Green tackled him. And now there's a really good tackle there laid by Ernest.
Now, I liked what Francis tried to do there, tried to cut back into the corridor. The kick was there, it was very well chopped off actually by Tyson Stengel, but unfortunately got chopped in the arms. That's what Essendon's got to do into the win. They've got to attack the corridor.
So Green, he got that one going forward. Intercept mark was taken by Coffey to play it on quickly. He's got Baker, he's got Silvestro in support. Now Baker's just going to send this one inside forward 50. It's high and long. Brought to the front of the pack, did Essendon. Couldn't effectively get away from there yet. Works his way in the pocket. Parrish will keep it in and then he'll go along the line. Bolton at the back. Got a nice little climb. Couldn't hold on to it. That was over the top of Heppel. We'll have a throw in 60 round from the Richmond Gelt.
Now, I'm not too sure that was the right option by Liam Baker. That's multiple times they've gone long and deep inside forward 50 and Essendon have been able to sit in the corridor there and nearly chop it off there by Aaron Francis. In the opening term, when the Tigers run and carried and drew the Essendon defenders to them and then opened up options inside 50, they were a lot more damaging. Yeah,
they need to work on that one. So the ball's going to come out the back here. That'll be Naish to pick it up and then send this one in long. And once again, it's just a big nothing kick in there. Francis was able to take the mark and then give the hands off to Crosby. He couldn't gather it. He's going to get a free, I reckon, for a push. That was Sullivan. Just being a bit reckless. Mark taking in the corridor there. Minot.
Yeah, that's Oregon just run with the Minot. Oregon, that's the one you're going to
I think it's the easiest one.
Yeah, I think so.
Down the wing, went the fend off, gave away to Pryor.
Went the fend, that's it. That's that rule. It's not really adjudicated correctly sometimes, but
it's the Dustin Martin rule, except he doesn't get caught.
No.
So I reckon that's Coates with it. He's just going to send it long.
Yeah, Coates
Once
has been
again, Essendon with numbers, cutting off that kick.
Yeah, they've got their aerial ascendancy in their D50 at the moment. So I've just got to have to think their way through this one a bit.
So short kick. That was from Ridley.
Teams can get, when you're kicking with them, get sucked into the fact that...
Just going long kicking as far as you can.
Yep.
Which in the first and second term on both occasions, we saw it took until about the 20-minute mark on both occasions before they lowered their eyes and actually thought their way through it. So I thought Richmond would have been smarter than this so far in this term.
It's been Essendon's defended pretty well, actually. We're going 7 minutes in and there's been a couple of points scored.
They've definitely got a loose down there.
Yeah.
Which means you can't go high.
No, Aaron Francis is playing loose behind the ball, so you're going to have to try and bypass him.
So getting involved with Sheen. Could very well end up with it again. But once again, the numbers hold it up, and Richmond players calling for holding the ball. It wasn't going to happen in there. Coleman Jones getting up off the bottom of that pack. Be thrown up. Coleman Jones doing the ruck work. Draper there as well. A little palm at the front. Then Parrish got involved, and then the hands out the back. There was some good numbers involved. Minot was there as well. Going to roll with him plenty now. Went up to the wing. Union was a flyer. Coleman Jones now with a palm trying to work it out. He eventually gathered, got hands on it, couldn't find a man out wide. Essendon can work it out along the line. It's going to be tight. The line beat all of them.
There's a free off the ball here. I don't know what he's called. I'm not too sure.
Long way away, that umpire who has called it.
Yeah.
Was it for a hold or something along those lines?
I think so. Your guess is as good as mine, Jim.
Well, when you're that far away, just anything will do. The kick along the line finds Stewart.
Dangerous.
It's close to 50, but
nearly put him under the second ring of the Essendon bowling club.
Where the umpire, almost in the umpire's shed. Long kick inside forward 50, and there's a free for a push, going the way of Essendon. To be honest, I thought I saw about 2 or 3 pushes in that marking contest.
I think that was one of those ones that was a bit 50-50.
It was a bit of a raffle in there in the end, so Richmond will get that shot on goal. Essendon. An absolute mare there. So Essendon looking for their first of the term, just to close that gap. This would be a really good one against the Tide. Shot on goal, just fades out to the left for a minor score, 5-9-39, trailing Richmond 7-5-47.
Injury news, I don't believe Ryan Garthwaite has re-emerged after half-time, after rolling his left ankle.
Now, that could also be why Coates is now playing in defence. Richmond, they worked that one up the centre wing, and Coleman Jones was able to see it over the line.
Yeah, their depth has been tested today, and the loss of Garthwaite, it could be telling. And also at AFL level, 2 injuries on Friday night. It's going to really test the depth of the club, but unfortunately, that's what happens in football.
Yep, and it's unfortunately how it is at VFL level too. You cop that a fair bit when it's a roll-on effect from the ones.
Yeah, it's quite a transient program.
So Lloyd sends that one inside forward 50, and Hartley's just sitting there perfectly in the hole.
They've got the numbers on the outer side here. They're going to have to work hard into space.
Oh, the kick had to be perfect, and it was. It found McQueen. It's gone quickly. Got it out to Ridley. Goes back to Francis. Now his kick has to be good. He's got Houlihan there, and there was a block laid. That was good. Coates wasn't able to get over there to affect the contest. So Houlihan goes down the line. Parrish will float in at the front, and that's stuck nicely.
It was a good mark.
He just read that so much better than anyone else that was around the footy.
James Stewart stroming back towards goal. He's going to go in that direction now.
So Stewart will fly at the back. Couldn't quite get there. At the front was McQueen. His handball was smothered. And a throw in, a 40 round from the Essendon goal, who are looking dangerous in this term against the Tide, really.
The Tigers aren't as sharp as they were in that latter stage of that first quarter. They were really sharp with the ball. They were spreading with numbers. They just haven't been able to get their game up and going since that stage. They're defending grimly here. It's as the weather really starts to close in, it's getting quite
it's going
bleak.
to get ugly.
Yeah, it's going to get ugly.
Which means they've got to get on the board now, Essendon, as they get a shot from about 50. It was just a wasted kick, as Miller was able just to cut that one off deep and then go for a little bit of a gallop. He goes short out wide.
This is better. They got numbers through the corridor. They're going to have to try and bring it in board. Or he's got bolted down the line.
So grew up. Goes down the line with an ordinary kick. Hartley once again reading it perfectly for Essendon.
Richmond's got numbers back. We've got Miller on Stewart now. He's just going to have to try and chip it. He's really well chopped off there by Liam Baker. But now this has been a tough bit for the Tigers. They just haven't been able to get any flow into their game.
Well, so far in this term, Hartley's been chopping everything off, and Baker's kick was poor out wide. He's put his men under a bit of pressure.
Yeah,
so gathering that one, that was Batty, then just goes short. Mark taken there by Caulfield. He's just going to switch the ball, so they're going to give this another go. Coates will take it. Now he's got a fair leg on him, so he's just going to send this one out long and wide to the wing. Menaju's going to have to be good. It went over his head, got out the back. Coleman Jones gathered it. Menaju got up quickly though and kept running. Now he takes a bounce. Shepherd will come. He'll get to 50. Now he's just going to go short, chip it over the top. Gruen needs to hold it, and he does. He's 40 from home. Probably not a great spot with the breeze. Probably try and drag it across the face, but any shot they can get at the moment, they need to take because Essendon's pressing.
That's what the Tigers did in the first quarter. They run and carried. Once they got to that forward to centre top area, they run and carried it. That was a beautiful pick-up by Coleman Jones, who released Connor Menadue. And Menadue could have blasted on goal, but saw the option inside 50.
What I liked was it was that switch in play. They looked like they were coming out here. Coates, though, when he got the ball, he went quick. Didn't hold up and give Essendon a chance. Now the shot on goal looks to be a good one there.
He's got it.
And Gruer's snagged it.
Didn't celebrate at all, Jim.
No, he's just giving us donuts. That's where we look for a little bit of help up here.
But no, that was very smart play by the Tigers. What they were able to do in the first quarter, they emulated that. And Essendon were really defending really well, but they went around that spare that they had. And let's just see if the Tigers can keep replicating that in the latter stages, latter half of this third quarter.
So Richmond 8-5-53, leading this one by 14 points. Essendon 5-9-39, 13 and a half gone in this third quarter. Is that what ignites the Tigers in this third term? They got the breeze, they need to use it. Umpire persisting with the bounce. That's a good one again.
I like it.
Draper got a palm down. Hocking put his head over the footy, got the hands out. He's got a runner out wide. Now a kick's going to come out to Houlihan. He's got a bit of space on the half-forward flank. McIntosh pushes up to him now, but he goes quick with the kick and he finds his man. I reckon that's Clark with it. He's going to turn. He's going to try and go quickly. Kick has to be a really good one, and it is. Finds Hind in the pocket.
Now, Jim, this is kickable from here. This is a kickable set shot. You can bring it back on the breeze if he aims it at the left goalpost.
Well, my concern is the wind being that it's going to the left-hand side of the screen. Is he going to aim at the right goalpost?
Yeah, it's true. Now, I've seen him in the warm-up. They were slotting these, so it is kickable.
Also, no pressure at that stage. I'll tell you what,
it looked like I was.
I thought you were on the money at first. Minor score to the far side. Essendon a little bit wasteful in front of goal today. 5-10-40. Richmond 8-5-53. This will be a long kick from Ernest out of there. He's just going to send it to the centre of the ground, and it was perfect because Stengel can take it on the chest, and then they can release out the back. Ballard was pushing hard against Francis, gets over the top. Grew was there. They're going to run to the top of the square, and it just keeps bouncing and bouncing with the wind and goes through.
Tiger players pleading for deliberate rush, but he was under a little bit of pressure there, Jim.
No, I'd say so, just a little bit. So minor score to the Tigers. Ball brought back into play. Mark taken there by Sheehan. Tries to go over the top. Stengel will put the pressure on McIntosh as well. Couldn't take it cleanly. The bounce just didn't sit for him. Now he's got one arm held and he works his way to the line. Reckon he was being held before he even had the pill in hand.
Yeah, I'd say that's true.
But look, you let them go at times.
There's a reason why they only had one arm to pick the ball up. But
just that they wouldn't want to go and pay a 50 for this in endangered area or whatever they call it.
Oh, no.
So thrown in. Menadue.
Yeah, that's a really good play by him.
Spins and gets away. Sends it inside forward 50. They need a clunk. Ballard was there. He's got 2 to beat. Francis got involved. Tight on the line. Handball comes back to Francis. Keeps it in. I reckon that was out on 3 occasions. And now it goes long. Houlihan sitting underneath and just takes a mark just inside the field of play in front of the cricket nets.
He's got Nick on here on short. Oh, no.
He's just sat it right in the lap. That was Miller who got involved and ends up with Lloyd, a short one.
This is really smart here.
Stengel had to be strong. Francis bumped him off and Baker got involved. Manars there goes over to Greer. Greer tries to shrug one, gives away that opportunity for a too high. And now Essendon, they get it out. Can they though? Massive tackle laid.
That's a great tackle there. Excellent pressure by the Tigers. And Ryan Bathy, that was a smart little kick in board. He didn't blaze away. And we've got a little bit of an injury here.
It's slow to get up.
That's Connor Riley, though, the son of Mark Bomber Riley. Coach at St Bernard's now, as they're flying in Prem B at the VAFA.
He's been everywhere as Bomber Riley.
Yeah, doesn't he? Journeyman, would you say?
You'd probably roll with that term.
It's a big kick for the young man.
So Riley... Richmond need another one here. They just need a steadier to get it out to 20 points. He'll kick from right on 50. It's going the journey just, but a minor score.
Playing a bit of a role on Jackson Merritt today, Connor Riley, and he's doing a pretty good job.
Jackson Merritt, you're right. We probably haven't noticed him a great deal. You expect to hear a little bit more of him.
Was that 3 touches to half-time, Jim?
Yep, so that's close to nothing.
Yep.
Long kick out of there, and there was about 3 or 4 players that hit the deck.
He's caught a blocking free here to Tommy Silvestro. Now the wind has picked up, Jim, and the rain's coming in, and the supporters down
they've said seen enough.
Well about enough. Down the uncovered end of the ground, down the Mount Alexander Road end. Now Tommy Silvestro's going to have a shot here.
I like this. Just backs himself in. He'll run out to the right, you would have thought. Just give himself a little bit of extra leg. Now he sends it long. He started it well to the right, and it's just drifting back. Fell about 5 metres short. The kick tried to go over the head there. That's inventive.
Very inventive, and gone out in the full.
I like the thought, but sometimes just know your own ability. On that occasion, it was Batty. So Essendon, they'll try and clear it again. Kicking into a strong breeze. Boundary line's a good result.
Right in there by Miller. He's playing the anchoring role now that Ryan Garford hasn't returned.
You feel now that 18.5 gone in this third term, really Essendon now forget scoring themselves this quarter.
Yes, they've got to stop the Tigers jagging a couple late, because 15 points in the last quarter is extremely manageable with the wind.
This is when you drop just about everyone behind the footy.
That's a Falcon.
Lloyd, he ran into a bit of trouble. Just spinning and then kicking it out in the full was Wood.
Now, Jim, when a ruckman falcons the ball, is that classed as a hit?
Well, it technically should be.
Yeah, it should be.
Be even more impressive if it was to an advantage.
It would have been. World Cup theme here, Jim. The semi-finals on this week.
Yes.
We got Belgium, Croatia, England, and the fourth team, France.
See who dives the least.
I haven't watched a minute of it, Jim. I value my sleep too much.
Exactly. Long kick up the line. Green's there trying to do the roving. Gathers it. Grubber along the ground. Boundary line to be a good result. Goes the wrong way. Oh, that's going to be too high.
Yeah, it's going to be. There's not much the Essendon player could have done there with Ernest's head.
He had to
the
attack
ball.
the footy.
Yeah, he had to. It's always a tricky one. You want to protect the head. Yeah, he's just going to want to look inboard, but now he's get forced down the line.
So Ernest just goes long, flyer from the side with Stewart, and he juggled it. Ended up taking it on the chest while he was lying flat on his back. He goes in board. Baker read it well. He flew. Parrish was involved as well. He was ridden into the ground. Silvestro shrugged one, then just dropped the footy. Now Parrish went and looking for Green. Couldn't get him. O'Sullivan's there. Silvestro with the tackle.
The Tigers did well there to hold that up. After that sensational mark by Stewart. He looked in board, and the Bombers looked to be away. The Tigers were able to force a stoppage. That dog in the background is a bit going on.
There you go, local footy. That's all. That's what it's about. You get the odd dog. Batty threw a fist at it. Zerk Thatcher there tries to lay a tackle on Ballard. Now Sullivan's just had a flying shot and it almost came off. Minor score.
That's a great attempt from there.
That was a seriously good shot.
Yeah. Now,
just didn't have the legs.
Are the Bombers going to just stay? Yeah, they're going to stay defensive here. They're going to bring it out the grandstand side.
That's it. Just get it over the line, force another stoppage. That's where it's at for them at the moment. It's going to go long. Coleman Jones worked his way to the front. Green was there as well. Ooh. But they got the result they were after.
I'll tell you what, Coleman Jones just put him into the fence.
Yes,
he flat put him into the fence.
Just reminds him that he's about.
Yeah, that's it.
That's what it's about. Coleman Jones has got some size. He may as well use it.
Absolutely.
Doing the ruck work against Stewart. Handy footballer.
He's held his own here, Coleman Jones. As a young ruckman coming in, he's 19 years of age.
Yep.
He's looked very serviceable when he's that lone ruckman, as I said, against Williamstown and now against Essendon.
Stewart with it. He went short over the head of Parrish. Coming up to the footy was Caulfield. Gave the hands off to Brewer. He gave it to Baker, and he's got Menager in support, but he runs away from him. Now he sends it long. He needs a flyer. Batty's there. Gets it at the back. It's going to go through. No one touched it, and Baker's got the goal.
Liam Baker. I thought he should have gone the short chip, but he trusted his leg, Jim, and it just skidded on through.
That's what you like. Backed himself in. He did. He had handball options on. He had short options on. And instead, he's just gone the journey. An 8-8. Sorry, 9-8. Looks a lot better for the Tigers now. 9-8-60 to 5-10-40. 20-point margin. 22 gone. Third term. Breeze still a factor. Baker, he's had a serious day.
This is a man to be knocking down the door of AFL selection. I think he's been emergency twice for AFL selection, but he's just so consistent with his ability to win the ball, and he's crafty forward to centre.
We look around the grounds too. AFL action on at the moment. Collingwood got a little jump on Essendon early, 25-8, quarter time. Back to the live action. Menager laid a tackle. Green came back for the footy. Baker got involved. Goal kicker of a moment ago. Gave the hands off. That was good to Bolter. He's got Bolton there. He had to get rid of it. And he did just in time. Now the short kick. It's going to hit up Ballard.
Forwards are playing front, Jim.
They are.
Generally
and look a far better side.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. They're using the ball much better going inside 50 in the last 10 minutes. It was that 30-minute. The first 13 minutes they were blasting.
Yeah.
And Essendon was able to, with Hartley and Francis, able to pick it off, but they're lowering their eyes a bit better. And Ballard here with a set shot on goal. I'm going to back him in.
So Ballard to make it 26 points. The kick looked left from the moment he left his boot.
Commentary curse there, Jim?
Yep. Yeah, I was trying to build it up and then nothing. Just a real stinker of a kick. And the kick's going to come out wide. Menager will take it on the chest. Did well to hold it in the conditions.
Another good game again from Connor Menager. He's been actually really good in this third quarter. His first two quarters were good, but his ability through the midfield in this third quarter has been really telling.
He has stepped up again, so he sends it inside forward 50. Stengel underneath it, and then another foot on him. Couldn't get involved. Berry took the mark defensively for Essendon. Kick out, finds Minot. What a name, Minot. To another equally good name, Noonan.
He's been impressive today, Damien.
He's
crafty.
He is. He hasn't had a lot of the footy, but it's exciting when he gets the footy. Noonan. He sunk the slipper into it and went all of 35 metres. Green roved it well, brought it in board. Grua read it best though. McIntosh has got his hands on it. Got it to Caulfield. He needs to go quick. Parrish put the pressure on. Stengels under all sorts, and he's wrapped up right on the paint of 50. Half-back flank.
Now, Caulfield should have gone the reflex kick into the corridor. Tommy Silvestro was out on the fat side, and the Tigers were away, but Essendon able to force a stoppage here.
So Menadue couldn't get it away. Green threw a boot at it, needed to go forward. Came off shins and went the other way. Richmond with the numbers. Bolton's there. He's got a runner in Lloyd. Chose not to use him. Going to hit up Coleman Jones, and that was good playing in front. Gives hands off to Grua in board. He's going to run to 55 and then send this one inside forward 50. His man's there in Ballard. Got a hand onto it. Couldn't kick the goal. He's going to gather it and kick the goal anyway. And how about that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Makes up for the miss a moment ago.
Superb poise there by Shea Bolton, Coleman Jones, and then ability of Blake Grua. It was a mongrel kick, you'd say, coming inside 50, but it worked.
Yep, it was rubbish, and it worked.
And Jacob Ballard stayed in the contest, kept his feet, and fortune favours the man that keeps his feet inside 50.
He did well to turn his opponent and stay in front of him and then get goal side. It was impressive stuff from Ballard, who I've liked his roll-up forward today.
He's a versatile man. He's been a bit of a bit parts player throughout this year, but yeah, his form up forward, I like him as a big body up forward. He can take a good grab. He's actually quite agile for a big man. He knows where the goals are.
So just about the biggest margin we've seen for the day. Richmond 10-9-69. Lead this one against Essendon 5-10-40. Every point helps at the moment because they know Essendon's going to come hard in the last quarter. So ball up. Bolt's got the tap and then crashed into Lloyd, which opened it up for Essendon to charge forward. Parrish had to be good. McIntosh intercepted. Mark was paid. Thought there was a few sets of hands involved, but the kick went out wide. Wasn't a great one for Ernest. Put him under pressure. It's given Essendon a chance to reload. They got numbers using Clark. Goes inside forward 50 to Stewart. Be a tough spot to kick from, I would have thought.
Yes, absolutely. Very tough here for James Stewart.
The wind, no matter what way you look at it, it's blowing it away from the goal face.
Absolutely.
At this end, so.
I mean, that far out, it's going to be tough to try and keep it low into that breeze, and it's going to be a bloody good goal if he kicks this.
I'd almost rather see Miller for Richmond not standing the mark. Get him back on the goal line.
Yeah, well, you'd assume that Dan Caulfield's there, and now Noah Bolter's getting back there now. And I tell you,
in saying that, Stewart's kicked that 30 metres past the goals for a minor score. So forget what I know.
And now Caulfield here, just going to go out the attacking side.
Yeah, he's going to take the game on. He sat it on Stengel's head. He couldn't get involved.
Good pressure there by Baker.
It was by Baker. He had 4 to beat, held it up well. Lloyd was there for support.
They're out.
Now Bolton, that handball almost got Baker away. Essendon lucky here at the moment. They've got a man down, and now getting away from there is Ridley. He's going to go a spearing kick, couldn't find a man. Pushing up to the footy and getting involved is Caulfield.
I mean, I've liked his game,
found
Dan
Lloyd.
Caulfield, he's put himself in the right spots, and he's rebounding in with great efficiency.
He certainly has, and the kick in to the forward 50 was a poor one to Minot.
He's knocked up fine in the footy next third term, Jim, Minot.
He's doing a good job of it, just to test me out and make sure my pronunciation's good. A shorter quarter on this occasion, not even getting to 28-minute mark. Essendon trailing in this one, 5-11-41. Richmond at 10-9-69. They've got all the defensive work to do in the last term as Essendon come home with the win.
Yeah, 3 goals to zip that term, Jim. And Essendon defended really well in the first half of that quarter, but from about the 13-minute mark to the end of the quarter, the Tigers really had the ascendancy through the midfield and lowered their eyes going inside 50 and capitalised with 3 majors.
I'm calling it now. No, I'm not calling the win, though.
No.
I'm calling a very tight finish. I'm thinking inside a kick at the end of the day in this one. We are set up for a cracker. We're going to have a spell here at Windy Hill. Richmond leading this one by 28 points over Essendon. Welcome back to Windy Hill VFL action. Essendon v Richmond. Richmond just hanging in the huddle for a long time here, but they do lead this one by 28 points. So in this last term, it's all about defence.
It is.
Yep.
It's about with the Bombers kicking with the win and Tigers holding a 28-point lead. Yeah, it's about keeping the Bombers restricted and then also capitalising when you go forward down the other end. But,
yep.
Jim, as I look over to the west, there's not a lot of cloud coming in. We could just, the sunshine might be out for this final term.
Imagine that. How nice would it be? We've got the around the ground scores going around here at the moment. Sorry for the pause there. I think we were both listening ourselves.
The ground announcer's been asleep for most of the day.
First time I've heard the ground announcer, to be honest. I didn't know they had one. So the Richmond players finally making their way out there now as we get ready for the final term.
Lloyd, Ballard and Shea Bolton teaming with Coleman Jones in the middle for the Tigers.
Look at it, all of a sudden the players in the Essendon forward line have got some sunshine to contend with. You can see a few of them with they've got their hands up above the eyes just trying to block the sun. It's going to make things interesting, and well, they need to do all the attacking, but marking the pill might be difficult.
It might be a little bit difficult, Jim.
So the umpire just making sure everyone's off the ground, and he seems content. So we'll get this one underway. Coleman Jones up against Draper to start this term. Coleman Jones got a nice little ride, got the palm down. They just tried to edge it forward, attack the footy. Essendon got the numbers though, and they'll get the clearing kick. Hocking though, it was smothered. Lloyd flew at it, threw a fist at it. Now getting involved is Menadue. Sidestep one, sent inside forward 50. Gruel was attacking. Probably almost it got in the way of his man. Stengel's tackled. Essendon will be happy to see this one over the line, and that was Ridley.
That was good poise there by Connor Menadue. It didn't come off, but it was the right option, kicking into the wind.
Yep. So throw in 50 around from the Tigers goal. You'd almost say if they got the first, you could see this one being game over.
Now
Shea Bolton.
We don't want to go early, do we?
We don't want to go early. We've done that before. We weren't successful.
No.
Ballard, strong tackle as his man just lying on top of the footy.
He's been deployed into the midfield in this final term, which I like. He's a big body when you're kicking into the wind.
Yep, happens a bit, I reckon, with the Tigers, especially in final quarters. Ballard just works his way up there, throws his weight around. Generally has more touches than he had for the rest of the day.
Very good by Cam to McIntosh there.
Yeah, read that best. Disappointing for Essendon that no one actually got in there and made him earn that mark. Goes out wide to the wing. Ernest is there. He's under pressure. He's got to be good. Sidesteps his man. Now comes back to McIntosh. The handball missed him, though. Gives Essendon a chance. Parrish has to be good, and he was with the hands. Got it away. Now the runner there in Hines gives the handball off. They're going to go with a short option. The kick from Heppel hits up.
James Stewart, I think.
Stewart it is, isn't it?
Yep.
Even the sun's playing havoc with us from here. Everyone looks the same.
Yeah, this is an important kick here for James Stewart. The good work by the Essendon there. Forced the midfield turnover. Went quick, lowered the eyes, and found Stewart free inside 50.
Well, yeah, you're right. They went quick, but there was no blazing away at any point in there, was there? Everything was just made sure he hit a target. So Stewart, kick on its way. Looked good. As soon as the lefties, but the umpire did nothing. Goal. And Essendon, with their sixth, they just cut it back. 6-11-47. Trail Richmond 10-9-69.
All important first goal of the final term when you're trailing, and it opens the door for Essendon if they have the ability to use the ball through the corridor as they did in that second term, and then really capitalise going forward. They're going to give the Tigers a really good shake in this final term.
Richmond have got to be careful too when they go forward. They don't obviously they want to lock it in there, but they don't want to push up too hard because it only takes one kick to get out the back as well.
Exactly right, yeah.
It's a fine balancing act at the moment for the Tigers. They've got to play this quarter smart. The umpire will call that one back.
He's been pretty good today, the umpire, with the bouncing. Just got that one wrong, but no, keep going with it.
Even more impressive was the fact that the bounce was good even when the wind was at its worst. So Lloyd tries to get through the pack, couldn't do so. Bolton put a tackle on. Ballard was tough in there, got on the left boot, clears the area. Coates was underneath it. He went hard. Bathy got involved out to Shea Bolton. On the left to the hot spot, Baker underneath it, tried to take it on the chest. Grew was there as well. It's going to come over towards the line. Sam Lloyd just skips around his man, tried to handball it back to Menadue, but Essendon should have the numbers to clear now. They'll go short through Clark, trying to hit up a man there. That was Lavender. He couldn't do so. Now Bolter's going to send it back inside forward 50. Francis at the front and Stengel at the back on the chest.
As soon as the ball left Bolter's boot, there was only one man that was going to mark that, and it was Tyson Stengel. He read the fall of the ball beautifully. And and
it's 52. This rule is the worst. Please tell me how Heppel was going to affect that.
He had no effect on the contest.
Absolutely no effect on what Stengel was doing?
No. I don't know why that rule came in. I've got no idea. I don't. There's no reason behind it. Actually, the reason that rule came in was to adjudicate against the man shepherding the man on the mark.
Yes.
That is what the rule is for. Not for someone
shepherding the man on the
mark. No, just not for someone just trotting along, having no effect on the contest. And look, that's ultimate price, isn't it?
Yeah. And at the end of the day, I mean, in a game which is going to come down to Essendon having to get a run on here, instead of having to kick 6 goals in the final term to win it, they've got to kick 7 now. That's basically where it's at. So Richmond 11-9, 75. Essendon 6-11, 47, and all of a sudden you think it's just too far. 28 points, 5 goals needed without Richmond scoring just to get in front. So the Rucks go at it. Draper got the palm down. Green was good though. Gets it on the left slipper to clear the centre square. Goes deep inside forward 50. Richmond have got the numbers there. They tried to work it out to the back of that contest but couldn't do so cleanly. It gave Essendon a chance to get back involved and hold it up and get a stoppage 40 out from goal. It's just frustrating.
It is a very frustrating rule, and one that I don't think anyone would be opposed if they just scrapped it.
Scrapped it tomorrow. It's starting to get ridiculous. The kick goes to the top of the square for the Tigers. They've got the numbers there. Yeah, that was really good from Bolton. Now he gets it on the left shoe out of there. The kick was a bit of a grubber, though. It's going to give Essendon a chance to reload. Berry's there in support. He might end up with this, too. He's shown some pace. No. They're going to go another option, bring it back in board over the head of Hocking. Now with the ball was Minotti. He's just going to go short almost for Union. He gathers the ball that he dropped and then handballs it back to Francis, who's a long way back. Stengel get there and put the pressure on him. He did. And now Ballard's there to Silvestro. Now they'll just clear it. And that's all they can do. This just chews off time on the clock. It's smart play. Just get it out of there. Hartley, though, got involved, and he's going to go quick. And now he's got a runner. That's Hind. He's going to get to 50 on the left boot. He's going to send it in deep. And Stewart just straight off the chest. The chest got in the way of the footy.
Now, in James Stewart's defence, he was free. And then Hind just, if he went early, he was out.
He's right.
Now, Bolton's out. He's got Billy Coates on over the top.
Yeah, Coates might just go a nice little right foot dribbler here from the pocket, or he's just going to take on his man, and he did, and then he just drilled it into the goalpost.
Now, I can see what he wanted to do there, but just lacked that yard of pace.
He lacked the yard.
Yeah.
I would have preferred the dribbler. So Hartley knows he's just got to go. Spears it. Nice to Hind. He's just gone long. The kick almost got out the back. Silvestro did well to get a palm in there. Tackle was late on him. That was Heppel.
Thought he could have just possibly got a free kick for too high there for Tommy Silvestro, but he caused the turnover really well there. He kept his eye on the ball.
If he didn't get a palm on that,
they were out.
Essendon were going.
Yep.
So the ball up. Draper just knocked it out there towards the boundary. The Tigers had the numbers there, though, and then Lloyd eventually gets the kick going forward. Stengel read it better than all of them.
He's looking a bit inspired in this final term, Tyson Stengel.
He's looking super at the moment, is he? For arguably the smallest bloke out there.
Yeah. He's just hard in the contest, Tyson Stengel. He's got a really good core strength. And
his marking ability is what gets me every time I watch him. He should not be marking the footy.
I think it's his ability to read the flight of the ball better than a lot of players. He just knows where it's going to fall, and it just allows him to get to the right spot.
So the kick goes in long, and Coates
just shows strength.
He did. He just held Minot out of that one too easy.
The boy from St Kevin's, multiple Big V representative here, and he's got the opportunity just to extend the lead out and possibly put this beyond doubt for Essendon. So
he spent time at both ends of the ground today. He's just gone whenever he's been needed. And now he's just kicked a real awful sort of ball.
Yeah, that had a defender written all over it.
It did. It looked like someone who had no idea what a routine even is.
But his presence inside 50 has been good in the last couple of minutes.
Oh, now look at this.
That's a barrel.
He's gone onto that one, Hartley, and just sent it a long way to Stewart. good luck marking it when it's travelled 150. That was a bit of an exaggeration, but Bolter gets involved.
I like it.
Silvestre, you always got to put a mayo on it. It's
Outside
better
here.
for the stories later on. Eventually, the hands out to O'Sullivan. He's going to run inside forward 50. He dropped the pill, and that's holding the ball. Man down in the middle of the ground, too. That's Baker, I reckon, very slow to get up.
Very slow.
Essendon try to use the corridor. Really good stuff there, getting involved with the fist. That was Miller. But now Essendon through Ridley. Can get it to the half-forward flank. Green just turned around, forgot the footy was coming, and belted his opponent in the gut. Now working hard back there.
Ernest.
That was Ernest.
Yep,
really good stuff. He was the man focused on the footy on that one.
What I like there by Joel Ernest, he engaged his opponent early.
Yep.
And it caused body contact and caused Green to get a bit off balance, and he just tracked the ball back really well.
Essendon, they had the numbers, but there was a hand in there. I reckon it was Bolton who managed to hold him up.
In the last game Joel Ernest played, in the final term, he was caught deep on really crafty opponents for Northern Blues, and with each contest he fronted up to, he just seemed to grow a yard and just played a really, really good game. And he seems to have carried that on into this game.
Oh, this is my man, Zerk Thatcher. Zerk Thatcher goes long. Needs a mark, Houlihan underneath it. He just got shot out of a cannon and he didn't even get pushed. McIntosh with it.
Tell you what, they're out here.
Lloyd.
Sam Lloyd turns.
He's got Baker.
Now Coates
he was dead a moment ago.
Coates needs to get into space here. This is the
polar. This is the same situation. And this time he can't pick up the pill.
I reckon,
gone over.
I reckon that might have been in his mind too.
I think he didn't want it.
No. But really good transition there for the Tigers from D50. I'll tell you what, when they get the ball on the outside and get flow into their game, they just look a class above the
They do, you're right. Especially when you get a few of the AFL listed players involved. It's just a real classy thing to watch. So thrown back in. Draper got to the front, got two palms on it, but he sent it the wrong way for his team. And Zerk Thatcher watches it over the line.
He might be a man that is like Minot in the third, just keeps on finding the footy for you.
He might.
Tigers
my worry is when I look at the stats later and he hasn't touched it. I go, who was on? Who had all those touches? Zerk Thatcher, he was there again. Berry involved. Got the hands out. It's going to end up with Hind. Over the top. Got to go quick to Essendon. There's no time for this fumbling around in the halfback flank. Berry with it tight on the line. Ended up again with Clark.
Oh, that's Tigers.
And there's the pressure from the Tigers. This is what they're known for.
They attack and maul. They seem over handball that you invite the pressure and it plays into their hands.
Best bit is it ended up with Coates, Brewer and Silvestro all closing in and all laying the final tackle. Batty tried to get a clearing kick. He couldn't do so. Bolton with a strong tackle. Now intercepting. That was Wood. Naish. Head over the footy there. That was good from Ernest. Naish still working hard.
Now forward to this contest.
Umpire letting it go.
Tigers, look at the coverage they've got. They've got McIntosh in the corridor. Noah Bolter behind the ball. They've got great defensive coverage here. If the Bombers blast out of here, it's going to go straight back down and throw. Now the Bombers need to man them up and make them accountable.
So the palm down. It was looking for Berry. Didn't find him. Brewer got the kick out of there. Stengel's there. It was touched. Tried to shrug his man. It's going to end up with Menadue. He couldn't quite hold it. O'Sullivan trying to keep it in. Just he does. Menadue with it now. He's going to get tackled. He's looking for the line. He's got his head over it. He's not going to win a free kick there. Be a ball up.
That's good by O'Sullivan. keep that ball in.
That was his arms just grew a foot.
Yeah.
He's not a big lad. Palm down. Stengel's been everywhere. And now he just gets gang tackled over the line.
Yeah, he's looking really lively in this final term. This is the thing about the Tigers. Just in the final term, their speed doesn't drop.
No, they look fitter.
Yeah, they just look fitter. And when they get it on the outside, they got pace to burn.
So it'll be thrown back into play. Draper with the palm at the back. They just need to get something out of it. Unit's sitting underneath it, but he'll get nudged under the footy. That was well played there by Ernest. Essendon just edging it forward. Caulfield will come up to it. He was strong on Houlihan. Green sold it to a few players there and then had to be good with the hands, and he wasn't bad in the end. Now it's going to end up with Hind. He's going to get it on the boot. They got numbers in the corridor. Just got to hit one of them. Houlihan fumbled at the worst time. Caulfield got involved. Just edged it forward, but Essendon with numbers again. Back to Green. They got Stewart long. Ignores him. Wants to go into the corridor, and it's lucky for a slip there, but Essendon can get away. Hind was involved. Berry as well. He's going to run around one, then give the hands off, and he gets the 1-2. Now he goes a little bit further inside forward 50 with the kick, and it's a really poor one. That's McIntosh cutting it off.
Yeah, it was poor Essendon. At one stage, Green had James Stewart deep inside 50. He should have gone there. I liked how they went in the corridor, but that was too fumbly, and then kick inside 50 just wasn't good enough.
So McIntosh goes out to the wing. Numbers at the front of the pack. Wood was there. It's held up.
I tell you what. Yeah, Shea Bolton moving into the contest here, but it was goal side of his opponent, and there's one man you don't want to be goal side of. Goal side of you is Shea Bolton with clear grass ahead of him going towards goal. Shea
Bolton was good in there, helped it get out to the side of that contest, and the kick forward, flying at the back was O'Sullivan. He got hands on it, brought it to ground. Zerk Thatcher was in there. And the players are just drawn over to the boundary line where there'll be another stoppage.
Tell you what, the Tigers are playing this really well when they're not kicking with the wind. The wind does look like it has dropped a little.
Yeah, yeah.
But they're defending really well and keeping it in their half.
Coleman Jones got a nice little palm out the back of that one. Hocking sitting under the footy and marked it well. Silvestro was attacking him. And Hocking, like the veteran he is, just in the last quarter, struggling to get up. Almost doing too much there. This is the Tigers' pressure again. Ridley had to be good. Missed his man with the handball. Now they can get a shot on goal. Can the Tigers? Hartley needs to be good. It sits up and he'll manage to gather it. So he went to Zerk Thatcher.
You don't want to overuse in your D50 against the Tigers. You're just going to invite that pressure.
So if they play this well, Essendon, they can get out. Kick further up the wing.
They're out.
That mark was taken by Huntley.
They're out forward of the ball here.
Goes inside forward 50. Union gets it 45 out towards the boundary.
Now, this is one where he's just going to have to wait for the play to catch up with him. Tigers had good coverage in the corridor, and he's going to back himself in here. Now, the wind is going to carry this across the face of goal.
Yep.
So it's going to be a tough one to slot, but he's a classy player.
Difficult shot for Union. On its way, and he's given it plenty, but across the face for a minor score.
15 minutes gone, 29 points of difference. It's all for Essendon to do here. Final 15.
It is.
You'd assume final 15, 13 minutes of the game. They're just going to have to wheel and go.
Yep. They've got to go at every opportunity. The kick, clearing kick, found Silvestro. Couldn't quite hold on to it. Parrish had it. Haven't seen a lot of him in this final term. Silvestro got it to Baker, to Greer, to Baker. Now, he's been really good. His kick wasn't on that occasion, though. Berry was able to intercept it.
Oh, he's got
play on. There we go. O'Sullivan with a big tackle and on the ball. Generally, the umpire's a little bit lenient there when it's clear that the player hasn't heard the call. So O'Sullivan, he'll go long. Coates at the front of it. Couldn't bring it to ground. Francis got involved. Menadue at the back.
Oh, on the full.
It's gone on the full.
Has he called it?
And it's be interesting to see which way he points, but it was definitely off an Essendon boot, I thought.
Yeah, I thought it was an Essendon boot. Now, this is near impossible to kick it from here down to this end, but Connor Menadue might make me look like a fool.
I'm calling it. He will kick this goal.
Okay.
Going the opposite to the commentator's curse.
Yeah. What's he going to go with it? He's shaping up for the left foot.
No, can I take it back? I was thinking right foot banana.
Oh,
see, he's kicked it anyway. Look at that. And they all get around him.
That's excellent work by Connor Menadue. A man that's probably been the Tigers' best today, I thought. His run and carry, his poise, his contest work's been great. And that's an extremely classy finish by a very good young developing player.
There was a lot of love for that finish too. Everyone got around him. So Richmond 12-11 now, 83. You would expect that they are home in this contest. Essendon 6-12, 48. 17 minutes gone. In the final term here at Windy Hill on a Sunday afternoon, it's been a chilly one with a little bit of drizzle here and there. But overall, it's been an entertaining game of footy, which only now you feel may be done.
Yeah, I'm calling it now.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a bridge too far for Essendon at the moment.
So it's nudging 6 goals. So the umpire will just call that one back and we'll have a ball up after the ball bounce. Draper got into a good position in the ruck. Parrish was there. Sam Lloyd put the tackle on him. Now Draper with a socker. He just kicked it straight into his teammate there. Baker was able to gather it. Couldn't get a clearing kick away. Trying to edge it forward was McQueen. Free kick for a hold. Goes away the Tigers. Comes out right to Caulfield. Went long down the line. Baker was underneath it. Ridley was there. He goes long. His kick out to be good. He put it to the advantage there of Lavender. He couldn't quite gather it. Bolter was there. Managed to step him well and then send it out to the outer side. The Tigers, if they go quick, they may be able to get away. Lloyd will have to take the mark. Almost pulled it off against Green. I reckon he was giving away a free kick for too high. The advantage not there, and it'll be brought back to Green.
Like Bolter's work down back in this final term. They put him back in the second term and in this last quarter. Just his ability to use his left boot to get it on the attacking side of the ground has been pretty telling.
Well, there was a fly at the back there for Essendon. Nothing came of it. Baker's got it, and he's going to stream through the centre of the ground. He went to bounce and didn't come back to him. Ballard was there. He's going to have to get on the boot to clear the area. Berry read it well. His kick up the middle was poor, though. Hit up Coleman Jones at centre half back.
He's got Lloyd on the outer side. It's being just closed off now. He's just going to come out to this side to Ben Miller.
So Miller looking further afield, a few leads on.
Yeah, good.
Ignores them all. Just chews up some time with the short one.
This is a later their game they've brought into it this year, the Tigers. Their ability to control the tempo of the game. They go quick when they need to, and their ability to chew up the clock here at VFL and AFL levels has been really telling this year.
You expect they know if they just kill a few minutes here, it's 100% done, if not already.
And that's hands in the back, Jacob Ballard.
Ballard with two palms in the middle of the back of Hartley.
You had to be a bit smarter there with Jacob.
Yeah, and a few fans just going, I'm not sure, but I'll tell you what, watch the tape, and that's as obvious they get. That's what they put on the DVD at the start of the year to highlight the rule.
Excellent work there by Brendan Credlin.
Read that well.
Staunch defender from Frankston YC. Just slotted in really nicely to this outfit. Complements the likes of Garthwaite and Miller. Has an attacking side to his game too, but he can play tall and small.
Phone back into play. Stewart with the front position, got the palm down. Ballard roved it off him. Lloyd's there as well. He gets the kick straight into the midriff of Stewart. Zirk Thatcher around the corner. Strong mark taken. I reckon that's McQueen.
He's going to look to turn and go quick here.
The lightly framed McQueen just goes in deep. I think that was Francis at the front of the pack.
He copped a square knee square in the side from Noel Bolter. That's going to hurt tomorrow.
Mark taken by Zirk. Thatcher. Parrish was there. Stewart as well. He was looking for Green. McIntosh put the pressure on him. Ballard's involved. Silvestro's been good. Back to Naish. Plenty of numbers around this footy. Ballard with the clearing kick. Shea Bolton's pushing up to it. Goes the fend off and then gets away. Now they can go. The kick will move further afield, but it was a nothing kick. Hartley's the only one there. If he can gather it, he's got plenty of time. He does, and then gets it on the boot around the corner. And now they can use the corridor. Can the Bombers? Parrish almost slipped in the middle of the ground on the cricket pitches. Got the hands away to Ridley. He's going to go and he's going to chip it out wide. 60 from home.
A few players have slipped on the cricket pitch today. When it really firms up the black, the black tar-like mud of the cricket pitch.
Yeah, and the stops just don't go in.
No.
Richmond control the footy. Naish with it.
Now we can
Dare say he'll go the short option.
You'll go long. He's going to go long down the line here. The kind of manager going to fly. No. Oh, Lloyd taking off the ball here now. Against Sam Lloyd.
I'm not sure who.
I don't know.
It's an interesting one.
Yeah. Well, Sam Lloyd was on the ground. I don't know how it can be called for holding, but.
And that's Houlihan at the bottom there.
Yeah, I think Lloyd landed on him.
Yeah, okay.
It doesn't look to be in a good way. It could be a clash. I think it could be a clash of heads here. As we said last week, this side of play welfare has really come to the fore.
It has, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Especially teammates getting around. They're obviously always going to be the first ones on the scene.
Yep.
You can see it happens a lot these days.
Yeah.
You never would have seen it before. They're very quick to go and take the mouth guard out of the mouth of a teammate and that sort of thing, which is great to see. Long kick went inside forward 50 for Essendon, but it's intercepted. Oh, really poor turnover. Essendon will get a chance to kick a goal here, and it's missed.
Lucky there by Brenton Credlin. That was, just a scrubber. Could see what he was trying to do, but just didn't execute the kick.
So Ernest, to bring it back into play, he's going to go a short one. Oh, it had to be a good kick, and it was. Miller is surrounded by 3 Essendon players.
Yeah, the Tigers don't really have any deep options here except for this side of the ground. Oh.
McIntosh. There's my man, Zerk Thatcher. Got Parrish in the middle of the ground. Spent a lot of time there today. Gave the hands off to the running Hind. He's been good. Sends it inside forward 50. Got a push as he kicked it. Now, that's...
Down the field, are they going to call? I believe they should.
Is it...
It was a mark to Francis anyway.
Yeah. My only query is it... Can it be downfield if the act happens as he's kicked it?
Yeah, I'm not too sure.
Because the push happened as he was kicking it, not after the ball had left the area.
Yeah.
So that shouldn't
have been down the field.
But Francis gets the shot anyway and
misses.
Hangs it out to the right-hand side. So another behind for Essendon. They've been wasteful. 6-14-50, trailing Richmond 83.
At times, Essendon has looked the better side at times in this game, but they just haven't done it for long enough. The consistency of the Tigers to find gears in their game and just be have a bit more class around the ball and on the spread has allowed them to command a 33-point lead with inside 5 minutes to go. You call that, Jim?
Yeah, I'd be saying about that.
24.5 minute mark.
I don't think it'd be the longest quarter, but you'd roll with about that.
Yep.
So the kick, my man flew again.
Zerk Thatcher.
This is Zerk Thatcher again. He needs to get away from the footy. I'm worried he's had... I reckon I've caught him 30 times this term. I don't think he's had 30 touches. Francis with the footy. He just turns and goes from distance, sends it long, minor score. Yeah, so a 15th behind now for Essendon, who have kicked 6-15-51.
In trying conditions. On the road, it's been a really great test for the Tigers. Down in personnel in regards to AFL
there's a lot of
class players.
Yeah, exactly.
The likes of Corey Ellis, Anthony Miles and Ivan Solder, you could argue, have been their 3 form players of the year. And to have those type of guys out and a heart and soul player like Jake Yards in their front half, it's been a really pleasing display.
And those 3 you mentioned a moment ago, first bounce at the start of the day, they would have been in there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
So it is a very different look out there today for the Tigers, but they've held up well.
It just shows that the Soldiers may change, but the system stays the same.
Yep. Anyone can come in and play the role.
That's it.
Sam Lloyd steps around his man, sends this one forward. Bolton's caught in between 3. He affects the contest well. Stengel's there trying to rove it, couldn't do so effectively. Ball's going to end up with Stengel, and then he can get one over the top to Baker. If he's quick, he can have a shot. No.
He was nutted by
But he was there. Baker tried to cut it off again. This forward pressure's huge. Stengel with the chase down.
That's outstanding.
Took him across the line, I think. That's the only thing that saved. That was Hind with it.
Shea Bolton 1v3, causes the contest, brings the ball to ground, tosses Stengel with superb pressure.
Yeah.
Outstanding this final term.
So thrown into play. Buddy at the front, knocked it out towards the boundary line. Wood was after it. Wood and Bolton both left it for each other, I think. We'll have another throw in, a 35 round from the Tigers' goal.
So the Tigers will go back to the top of the VFL ladder.
I think where they should be.
Yep, absolutely. They've been the class team of the competition so far this year. Casey Demons are the second side. They're yet to face each other, but they face each other in a few weeks. It will just be a very intriguing encounter.
Unit was pushing up at the footy and he attacked it well and he's got it, but he's gone about 50 metres the wrong way. Eventually can turn it around the corner. Francis attacked it, couldn't hold on to it. Now gives hands off to Ridley. He's going to give one over the top. They've got a little bit of run. Strong tackle there. And I reckon that's holding the ball, and it certainly is. Furthest point from us on the ground this is.
This is Callum Coleman-Jones, which you don't see too many ruckmen get a hold on the ball decision, but been very good today, the young man.
Coleman-Jones goes long. Stengel was going to fly on his own man in Silvestro.
Yeah, it's in the back.
Yeah, free kick. So the Tigers will get another chance to edge forward. This is about the time the third quarter actually ended, so...
It can't be there haven't been too many stoppages either this quarter.
It's been pretty free-flowing, I guess, in a sense, and there hasn't been a lot of goals. So this kick goes inside forward 50. That was Hartley underneath it. Couldn't quite hold it. Paddy there tried to get a kick. Bolton with quick hands.
So Stengel again.
Silvestro. Bolton with it.
This will be special.
This could be something. He shrugs him. I don't know how. Right foot banana around the corner. No, you haven't.
Shea Bolton, take a bow.
And look at the love for him. Deserves it after that.
Shrugged 2 tackles, hemmed in on the boundary.
I thought he was gone twice.
Yep, absolutely. Just sprung up like a cat and snapped truly.
Shea Bolton, that was seriously impressive. So Richmond just with a nice little, what would you call it, a nice little nail. There's a few of them.
Absolutely.
Richmond 13-11-89. Essendon 6-15-51. The Tigers, as you said, return to the top of the ladder with what's been a convincing win in the end. They got the jump early in the day. It's always just been a little bit too far for Essendon. And then in the last quarter, they've just had a little bit of fun. So Batty was doing the ruck work against Draper. Chose not to go up in the end. If he doesn't get this out here, could be holding the ball. It comes out eventually. Wood's getting involved. Essendon with the numbers off the back of the contest. They can get a clearing kick out of there, move it forward. Union will push up to it. Can't take it in his hands. Ernest was there, trying to spin, did the full 360. Got one too high in the end. Wins a free kick, 29.5 gone in the final term.
One of the inclusions that's been very good down back, Joel Ernest, the boy from Uni Blacks. That's not a great kick.
really, really ordinary poor kick.
That was off the instep for sure.
The kick inside forward 50, that came from Apple.
Yep.
It's gone deep in the mark by Stewart.
Sorry, Joel, I just put the curse on you then.
So the siren will sound. Stewart lining up for goal after the siren, but it won't change the result. Tigers will be victorious in this one. We just wait to see by how much. Current margin standing at 38 points. This to cut it. Only slightly. Stewart makes no mistake after the siren. So Richmond win it 13-11-89. Essendon 7-15-57. And it's been wow. It was a cracker of a game, to be fair, up until about three-quarter time.
Yeah, it was. And the class and probably the professionalism of the Tigers really told in that last quarter. They really defended it really well. Got the game back on their terms, were able to get repeat entries, and the likes of Shea Bolton, Tyson Stengel, Liam Baker really came into the game, and they were able to hold them off and then take their opportunity when they went forward.
Yep, spot on. So a big game in terms of how it affects the ladder.
Absolutely.
Obviously.
Yep.
Yeah, you mentioned before, Richmond will move to the top. Essendon, I believe they were fourth heading into today.
Yep.
Whether this affects them or not. So a good win. Richmond will be happy with that as we just look over the umpires and they work their way back to the Lawn Bowls Club.
Yep, Essendon Lawn Bowls
Makeshift change rooms.
I just see, Ryan Garthwaite with ice on his left ankle. So, Tiger fans, just keep abreast of richmondfc.com.au and all our social channels for an injury update during the week. So hopefully that's not too serious for Ryan because he's been playing stellar football at AFL and VFL level. So
I like how they didn't take a gamble with him either.
Yes.
Because he did actually get up and he ran off the ground. It looked like one of those ones that he may be able to run out. But just leave it.
No. When it's at round 14 of the VFL and round 16 of the AFL, there's a lot more footy to go in the latter part of the year that you want to really nurse him through, because he's going to be a key component of this side. And if he's called upon at AFL level, in the latter,
he's always going to part
of the year.
We saw this last week after the game.
The run throughs
with a few players doing some run throughs. How would you feel? You've just chalked up a win. One of the assistants comes over and taps you on the shoulder, mate. You're up for a few 100-metre run throughs.
Second Shea Bolton just went over to the strength and conditioning blade. Did you see the goal I just kicked? Now this is
He's going, look after me here.
Surely I can just.
If I'm Shea Bolton, I'm jumping the fence and getting a cab home. Leave the gear in the sheds. There's no.
But it is good commitment by the two boys.
Yep.
It shows the professionalism of this club that's carrying through to hopefully greater heights in 2018.
Spot on. Well, we might call it a day here. Brenton, good stuff.
Been good by you again, Jim. Let's go and get warm.
We've had a good day, I must say. We've performed well, as have Richmond, of course, but us up here, we've done so as well. Richmond winning this one at 13-11-89 to Essendon 7-15-57.